galaxy premiere of Star Trek, rocketing in on NBC Week. The first adult space adventure blasts off Thursday, September 15th.
Word Balloon is brought to you by the League of Word Balloon Listeners. All right, full boat. What's happening, everybody? Time for a Trek watch. This is going to be a good one. Everybody is here. I'm so glad. We thought Franco was going to be on an away mission, but he's talking to us live from Starbase 12, where all the paranormal crap happens, I think. And we got Mitch, and we got Wayne, we got me, and hey, we're here to talk about. I don't know if you guys, how many of these other YouTubers you watch, if any, but all of them are afraid to say Muppet instead of puppet about this episode, because technically it was the Henson Creature group that made it, and Muppets is a trademark thing. You could say Muppet. We're not being paid by Disney. It's fine. So Muppets on Star Trek. Oh, for a full 54 minutes. Gee, great. We'll go around the horn, and I'll save my thoughts. But I know Franco. I mean, look, however you want to handle it, Franco. I know you're on borrowed time, so you know.
Yeah, just that maybe I might run out of juice, but I just want to. I thought this was the best Star Trek episode I've ever seen, ever in my entire life. I watched it 58 more times after I initially watched it. No, it sucked. It sucked more than anything I've seen ever from Star Trek ever. Anything from Discovery, anything from Academy, anything. Mm-hmm. This sucked. It sucked so bad. I hated it so much. I don't want to give away all my feelings, but that's pretty much just, my initial thoughts.
Mitch, you want to go?
No, go to Wayne. I'll be right back. I just realized something. I'll be right back.
No problem. All right, no worries.
Oh, I got a vamp now. All right, I can vamp.
Was he talking? I couldn't hear him.
Not the vamp. I got thoughts as well, but go ahead.
Okay. Keeping it short and sweet. I love the episode, and I thought it was one of the better ones this season. I don't know. It tickled me in such a way. I thought the only part I was disappointed was they didn't keep it. That it turned out to be a Dallas ending. But other than that, hey kids, look it up. Dallas, when Bobby was away for a year
in the shower, and
know your history, know your TV history. But no,
it negated like 2 seasons of Dallas. That shower scene.
So other than that, I loved it. Oh my God, I was laughing all the way through it. The puppet logic was perfect. I don't know. I don't know. It tickled me pink. Go ahead, Mitch. Knock it down.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
I loved it. I don't understand how it could have all been a dream if Spock was looking at scenes that he wasn't in, because that's not how dreams work. So that didn't make any sense at all. And I was so embarrassed when my wife walked in. It was like I was watching porn, and she caught me whacking off. And she said, "Are you really watching this?" I said, "Yeah." And I had to turn it off because I had sex with her a couple times in my life, and we have children, and I couldn't look at her.
You never want to do it again after that. Yeah.
Exactly. She's like, "You're never touching me again after you watch this." So I turned it off and had to watch it at night under the covers when no one was there. But
For the
audio,
audio,
stupid.
for the audio audience, Mitch was holding a
Holding
plushie
what?
Captain America while he was saying that. So that was the voice of plushie.
Let me
Cap.
just say, it's been done before. I hold before you the only VHS Muppet show I have, and it's because it was the episode with Mark Hamill and Pigs in Space, and it's hard to see it, but it's the thing. And I bought this back in the day because I wanted to watch Muppets interact with space heroes, and that was done. And it was a half-hour kid show from the what was this, in the 80s? Yeah, this was the 80s because it was during Empire Strikes Back.
Sure.
But
Franco's coming back. Don't worry, kids.
I do have to say it was embarrassing to watch it. It was written. You know what? You can't say Muppets. You can't say Sesame Street, because honestly, those are at a higher level of intelligence. Those skits that they did, like the Count and Oscar the Grouch and Bert and Ernie and all that stuff, that would be an insult to Muppets and the Sesame Street and the Henson people to equate this with that. And the fact that someone could say, well, was Ethan Peck did a tremendous job acting. He did because the fact that he didn't look into the camera every single time and go, "Do you believe this horse shit that I got to do?" God bless Ethan Peck, because you're a great actor and I love you. Reminded me of another big movie that somebody acted with a puppet, and it was called The Empire Strikes Back. It was Mark Hamill, and he acted with Yoda by the brilliant Frank Oz, and it's been done with other people, Jennifer Connelly and Labyrinth, and
Michael Caine,
Michael Caine.
Yeah. But there was a certain sense of logic and reality in those movies, even the Muppet movies, been stuff that it was okay. But this was just a total screw you. I mean, honestly, it was pathetic. It was bad. I thought somebody might have thrown it out there as a joke in the writer's room, and they all laughed. And then somebody goes, "Hey, why not I don't know what happened that day." They're like,
"Oh, I'll tell you, because
let's go
I
as
researched
far as
it.
we can go." And my wife said, "Why don't they just do an S&M show? Would you watch that if they were all walking around with gag balls and butt plugs? Why not?"
They
Why
did
not?
that already.
Let's go for it,
Well, they make Triple X Star Trek. The reason why this episode exists is because the cast, and I wonder, Wayne, if they talked about this in Vegas, the cast dared them. Yeah. They dared them to do a Muppet episode. And of course they said, yes, that's a great idea. The difference between this and the other puppet interaction that Mitch just described is it was like Farscape. I'll even go to Farscape because those were Henson created creatures and stuff. But you knew walking in, this is what you're going to get. Listen, I like the Muppets. I have pictures on social media of me interacting with Bert and Red Fraggle and Gonzo. I like the Muppets. But I don't want sauerkraut in my apple pie. And I felt like putting the Muppets in Star Trek is like putting sauerkraut in my apple pie. They both are great, but not together. And it's a waste again of another 54 minutes of Star Trek. I was expecting maybe 5 minutes. And also, like I was saying, I was expecting they were going to conflate it with the upcoming Trelane episode. We still got that BS to deal with. And that it was going to be, all right, 5 minutes of puppets, a whole damn hour, and a dream. F you. F you. That is even the people that like this. Like Keith DeCandido was very happy to list all the times. Well, you have a problem with that? Oh, but you don't have a problem with a Planet of the Roman Empire or a Gangster Planet or all the goofy episodes in the past or Beverly having sex with a ghost, all that other stuff. I understand, but it was 1 out of 24 or 30 episodes. It wasn't 40% of what we're getting so far this season, and we still have Trelane, and we still have Patton Oswalt and Doug coming back. And it's like, I'm sorry, it's too much. And you're jerks. You're all a bunch of jerks. And here's my favorite scene from the show. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's not it. But essentially, the new Kiss Jumping the Shark for Trek fans is this moment here, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Spock making out with Puppet T'Pring.
So
Kissing the puppet will go down with Jumping the Shark as like the dumbest thing that you could do. This, and by the way, the two writers, Henry Alonso Meyer, and forgive me, I don't remember the woman's name that co-wrote it, but they're responsible for the musical episode. Whoops, I disappeared. They're responsible for the music episode. They're responsible for 4.5 Vulcans, 2 of the other abominations of Strange New Worlds. And so congratulations. And for those who love it, great. That's fantastic. But even some that don't like it are like, Dream, really? Hacky, beyond hacky. That is poor fan writing. And it's fan fiction. That's this season. This whole season is going to go down in Trek history as fan fiction. All right, that's my current rant. I'm done. Somebody jump in.
I think I said it before. I messaged it to you guys. What really kind of hits home for me this season is that they've really embraced the fantasy of things. You know, they did that episode with the Renaissance or fairy tale episode, and everybody loved it, and they embraced fully the whole fantasy aspect of this. And there's no science fiction in Star Trek anymore. Yep. Old Trek had a mixture. It had the fantasy in it every once in a while, but it was all rooted pretty much in science or science fiction. And I think that's what really kind of made it stand apart. This season, I liked the first season of Strange New Worlds a lot. The second season was kind of hit or miss. Third season, ugh. This one, I don't know what the hell did I watch on Sunday? It was horrible. It was like, hey, I'm gonna beam my puppet as far as I can, and that messed up the transporter and turned everybody into puppets. And then I'm like, I'm watching this episode and I'm thinking, if this turns out to be a dream, I'm gonna get really pissed. And I don't know why I set myself up for these things, because I'm like, here it comes. There it is. It's a dream. I'm really pissed now. So yeah.
Well, you know what was weird? I thought maybe they're gonna land on a planet of aliens who are like, they look like puppets. I go, well, that might be interesting, because you had the Horta, which looked like a bad pizza, which was this big silicone life form, and you're like, well, that's interesting because it doesn't look like anything we would expect. No arms, legs, mouth, eyes, things like that. So I'm like, that could be interesting. But when the crew turns into puppets because of Ricky, and again, I'm not going to even talk about the fact that it's a dream. Because we didn't know it's a dream until the very end. So right. I'm watching this whole thing and I'm like, wait a minute, where are their organs? Where are they breathing? And then they quickly establish we don't have that anymore, but yet they could still talk. But that's wind passing over your vocal cords when you breathe. That's how you speak. Because if there was like invisible aliens with their hands up their ass, then it would have been interesting, like little rods. But they didn't have that nonsense. And when they were walking and stuff, it was like when Kermit rode that bike in the Muppet movie. It was really creepy. And then the thing is, when Carol King got ripped in half in her stuffing, and then they stitched her up, everything was stupid. I mean, I can't think of any other words. And I love the cast. I've met like half the crew have been on my show. Terrificon, Connecticut's Terrific Comic Con, happening October 10th to the 13th next year. But anyway, 13th to 15th, something like that. But anyway, it's okay. Stupid, so man, it's beyond stupid. They're floating in space. What the hell?
At the end, that it's a dream, right? That's established. But then you go back and you think about it. This all came from Spock's mind,
right?
And this is how he thinks of things.
But it doesn't make sense, because I told you there's scenes with the Orions that he's not in the room. So you can't have a dream. That's not how dreams work. You are in the way your brain works in any dream. Well, why am I even trying to explain this nonsense? I'm trying to be real. You can't have cut scenes in a dream. That's not how your brain works when you're asleep. It doesn't go, meanwhile, down the street, this is happening. That doesn't. You're in it. You're the viewer. You can't have scenes where you're not in it. But Spock was having apparently maybe because he's a Vulcan. We'll just
A
write it.
psychotic episode.
Oh my God! I mean, if we're just gonna go out, there's no logic on Star Trek. There's no logic with Spock. How bad is that?
And they make Spock the biggest wuss. I mean, my God, La'an rejects him. This ridiculous dream again, making out with the puppet, and also I hate Knucklehead Scotty. Oh, I'm a rookie. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I made another mistake. Oh, and it's like BS. These are again Wayne, and again Wayne. This is why Wayne's always in a happy place. He has said, in his mind, this is different canon. It's just this doesn't line. It doesn't line up. And I like the lady that plays T'Pring. Also, here a couple positives. The actual execution of the Muppet stuff, very well done. But they're always good technically. I loved Rachel Hunter. Rachel Harris. Rachel Harris. Rachel Hunter's the supermodel. No. Rachel Harris. Rachel Harris from Lucifer and Suits. All Curb Your Enthusiasm. Brilliant comedian. I didn't even recognize her because she was green and they gave her the long-haired brown wig. But my buddy Joe Henderson, who used to showrun Lucifer, I'm like, hey man, Rachel. He's like, she's great. And I'm like, no shit. She's one of my favorite actresses. I love her. And Joe Latruglio, or whatever his name is, from the State and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yeah, they were great. They really were great. I want to pick up on what Franco was saying about, and all of us, obviously, that this is all in Spock's mind. There is a long tail that's happening, and it started in the first episode, where obviously Spock is in this continuity struggling with the human side and the Vulcan side. And really, and again, even showing the flashbacks to the Griffith horror episode and stuff, that it's still bothering him. And I understand that. And maybe despite the stupidity of what it's wrapped in, maybe this will lead something at the end of the season. We certainly got that last conversation with Vulcan T'Pring and Spock, and maybe now you want to start, embracing your Vulcan side. Yeah, definitely. And so we are finally maybe getting on that path. I just hate what it's wrapped in. And again, honestly, the other thing when before Pike gets shot out of the airlock and they redo one of the most sensitive scenes in Star Trek, and I feel like a jerk and an idiot explaining this because of course it's fiction.
Oh, the whole
they're having fun, but it's again, I really think they don't care. They're happy to mock Star Trek. They're happy to mock Spock, forgive the rhyme, mock Scotty. Okay. And I mean, truly, the only two characters I think, as far as the legacy characters that they've given deserved agency to, have been Nurse Chapel and Uhura. They're the only ones. Otherwise, Kirk's a douche in these. And again, no disrespect to any of the actors. But yeah, and I'm just again, they that's like one of the great scenes. My God. Oh, yeah. And we're making fun of it. Aren't we hilarious? No, you're crap. You're crap. So anyway.
See, I don't look at it that way, that they're making fun of it. I think what they're doing is they're making
what are they doing,
homage to that scene.
Homage.
Everything everything that you're saying, I'll look at it from the other side. This is an homage to that particular scene.
All right.
Like again, I have to disagree with all you guys.
But then what happens later? What happens later when Spock and Kirk are actually in that scene? Does it take Spock out of it and go, oh, I did this with Pike?
I had a dream about that.
Before.
Yeah.
That's what I say, that this isn't the canon's storyline.
It would be worse if it was the canon. It'd be as bad.
Oh, no, it definitely would be worse if it was the canon.
Wayne, you call it homage. I call it, we have no original ideas. Oh. So all we're going to do is give you callback. And that's crap. That is shit writing. I'm sorry. It really annoys me.
You know what's weird?
They should be embarrassed.
Robot
and that's
Chicken
why they
does
leave
the same thing.
But Robot Chicken's a comedy. It's the same.
But it's a parody, Wayne. That's Wayne. It's not the same.
Like a parody
it's
episode.
Not the same.
It's not Mad Magazine.
Sorry, Wayne.
Anyway,
no.
They have.
Can you do a parody of yourself?
We do it all the time.
Well, and again, every time they've done something goofy, they've tried to ascribe a reason why. The ghost that Crusher gets down with, he's an alien. The kids when the next gen crew become children. All right, this is what happened. they try to give it a scientific thing. This was a dream. Oh, it was a dream. And it's Scotty and he's got a bad transporter accident. Crap writing, hack writing. This is the kind of thing that an 8th grader turns in for his essay because he likes Star Trek and he gets a C- because it's like, yeah, all right, nice try, but maybe try something original for a change. These are professional writers. We deserve better. We deserve funnier and we deserve more clever.
Here's the thing. They've got about 15 episodes. I'm assuming the last season's 10 episodes like the rest of them.
No,
they got 15. It's not? It's shorter than 10?
10.
No, it's not. Is it?
Yes, I told you guys that.
Oh, my God. So it's 6. I didn't know that. I thought it was just 10. So we got 6.
Oh, the next season, 6.
So this was number 5, right?
5.
So we have 11 episodes. And in 11 episodes, you got to write that ship, no kidding, to get it on track so it leads up to, I'm assuming it ends with, Pike leaving the ship to Kirk and he goes off to get killed or get damaged in the gamma radiation thing, whatever. So you got 11 episodes to get this thing back on track and get it back to like where it was. I don't know how you're going to do that because you just said you got the Trelane episode. You got another Gary episode coming. That's 2. So, man, you're running out of runway. You know what I'm saying?
You mean Doug instead of Gary? Yeah. It's all right, Gary. I understand.
Yeah, man, it's not good. It's not looking good. And then again, maybe the show is coming to an end. Maybe you're like, hey, you know what?
Well,
we ain't coming back. They know more shows. So
is it no surprise that the Ellisons saw what these guys have done? Because again, I believe this season was already in the can when they took over, and it's like, yeah, that's really interesting. Oh, your contract's up at the end of 26. Goodbye. You're not getting a renewal. Goodbye. And truly, you can blame Akiva Goldsman and Kurtzman for the big picture, but now you got to throw Henry Alonso Myers under the bus too, because again, he co-wrote this one. He co-wrote 4.5 Vulcans. It's like, no, these guys, again, they don't understand the product they're working on. They don't.
All right, I'm going to take Wayne's point because I like Wayne. He's a good guy.
I don't dislike
barring enhancement from chemicals or drugs or something that's going on in Canada. It might be those fires out there. There's not enough oxygen up there. We don't know what's going on. Might be the tariffs. Who the frig knows? All I'm saying is you could do an all-out comedy episode, and they've done comedy episodes. They've done episodes where they were de-evolving into animals. Picard was becoming a meerkat. It was insane, but and they had those 20-something episode seasons, and there'd be a dog in there now and then. You remember the Sun God one when Data's on the chair and he's got that sun mask on? It was pretty shitty. Let's be honest.
That's the only one.
Not all of them are home runs or even inside the park doubles or anything. Some of them are real crap. Even on the old show, Spock's brain isn't great, but it had its moments, But this one is like going into it. As soon as that puppet showed up, you got to go, I'm not going to sit there and watch this for 45 minutes. But I did, thanks to this show, the only reason why I did it. And it was, honestly, Wayne, it was painful. And I love you, buddy. And I tried to sit there and laugh with it. If it was on SNL, if it was on Saturday Night Live for a 5-minute sketch, I'll go with it. If it was on Robot Chicken, I'll go with it. But this is the real Star Trek. This is if I went to the last Star Wars movie and the whole movie was done with puppets and not any real actors, I'd be like,
Ewoks.
What? And how did that work? And how did that work? I'm still recovering from that after 40 years of that shit. But and even the puppets, because I was talking about that. The reason why I didn't like Return of the Jedi is it went puppet crazy. They had the Jabba the Hutt, the Salacious Crumb. There was too many friggin' puppets in the Return of the Jedi, and I remember seeing that and going, God damn it! Why did you take such a great movie series and you just de-evolved it because you could?
Well,
just
they were on a
because
downward scale,
I don't know. Just like Jar Jar Binks, it's like you had the technology, but you didn't have to do that. But they did, and then.
But even back in because somebody put up a meme, no puppets in Star Trek, and it's Baylock, the Baylock puppet that Clint
that was
Howard
part
used.
of the story, though.
Of course it was. Or Catspaw with the aliens that pretend to be witches, and at the end you see them as little puppet again, and also lack of technology. I understand it was the 60s. There's a lot of puppet movements and things like that in the pre.
And they had budgets.
No, Wayne, you're a fan of the
Yeah.
show, and I've never seen it,
Yeah.
though I've had some of the actors here. Apparently, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer, they did something like this as well. Is that true?
Angel.
I don't know.
Angel.
Okay, one of those
Angel,
shows.
yeah.
So the
Mouth
whole show was just like this, like an hour long.
No.
Show.
Only Angel turned into a puppet.
And there's a reason behind it. First of all, going back
Why?
to Franco's point that it's science fiction versus fantasy, Angel is fantasy. Magic happens in the Buffy and Angel universe. And what was happening was demons were pretending to be puppets on a children's show. And instead of it just, hey, it's a fun romp, no, they were sucking the life force and killing children. And that's what, so they were pretending that they were on a morning show the kids would watch before school.
Right.
And they tell them, put your hands on the TV, and it would suck the life out of them.
Oh,
and
wow.
And it
That's
was
dark.
really chilling. And by the way, written by the great Ben Edlund, the man behind The Tick.
Oh, the
And-
Tick. Yeah.
Yeah, and a quality science fiction and fantasy writer. Again, that was original. This is, it's an homage. No, it's we have no new ideas. We fell in love with gimmicks, and we're just going to do that because these are our strange new worlds. F you hard. You are wasting our time, sir. You know, and I don't mean Wayne. I love Wayne too. But no, it's just again, and God bless you, Wayne. I like that you disagree.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm going to say now the
Okay.
only homage was the whole the Spock thing.
Yeah.
Put that aside.
I
I thought it was really cool because they were going through and looking at it from a scientific point of view. I'm a puppet. I can't do things. And how can I overcome this? Scotty rigged a glove. The other thing is
But they,
from
but
Spock's
they rearranged their own continuity. Go ahead.
No, but again, I have told you I don't know how many times that this is not continuity.
Wait
It's
a
not.
second.
No. I'm not saying
Within
that.
the
I'm
whole
saying
episode, Wayne.
within the own episode, they screw up
Yeah,
their
that's
continuity.
that's
because
bad. That's bad writing, Wayne.
You're
Sorry.
Wait a
talking about
second.
all the
Wayne,
stuff that they did, but then
are
it's
you
a dream at the end, so none of it matters.
No,
Are
that's
you
what.
saying
Okay,
this- Okay. Go ahead.
the one thing I told John before, I was the only thing that really made me not like the episode was that they made it a dream. I thought they should have kept it as a transporter accident, and then it would have been a better episode for me, because by them making it a dream, I think they took away the aspect of one, Scotty's genius of trying to extend the the transporter to teleport over a longer distance. They're using an inanimate object, and it's an inanimate object from his youth that he really hates. So yeah, if I'm going to try to do a test, I don't care what happens to little Ricky. So let's use little Ricky to see if he goes. And if he happens to blow up, I don't think Scotty would have cared one bit.
Sure.
But the fact that they made it a dream, that's what I thought was they didn't have the balls to stick the landing on that. They should have made it that this actually happened, that this was a complete story, and not turn it into an episode of Dallas.
This was
Where
a crap
you just-
episode,
Okay.
and that ending.
That ending made it-
Carry on, Todd.
if they hadn't done that ending, it would have been a slightly less crappy episode. But it was
Exactly.
a
Still crap.
episode.
Still
All right.
less crappy.
Two things. Remember when the what's the Lower Decks, the
Yeah.
animated show, came aboard their show as live actors, and they got Quaid and what's her name? I can't think of Mariner's name.
Mariner.
Yeah,
But anyway,
Mariner.
Newsom. Yeah, but that was
Yeah,
clever. That was clever because they mixed an animated show with a live action show, and they did it with style, and it was good, and the characters were in character, even though they were from an animated show. They acted, so that was pretty cool. This was not done in that pretty cool vein. You could have said, like I said, if you were going to do it as puppets, I can't think of any way this is going to work, honestly, unless they had they had to communicate with another species or something like that, and they couldn't see human form, and they had to get like a Punch and Judy, where you tell a story about, a real
Darmok.
life thing.
Darmok and
Darmok
Puppet
when the
Boy.
walls fall or something. You know what I'm saying? You had to use another type of communication to get across to whoever the hell the alien race was or whatever. You could have reversed the Corbinite maneuver where it wasn't Baylock using the alien thing. You could have used the puppets you know what I'm saying? In a reverse way, he wasn't threatening them. They were trying to make friends with somebody. There's a lot of ways you might have made this plausible, but making it a dream basically was an F you.
Oh, no, I think
And I'm just trying to think if you want to watch a good interview, Priscilla Presley and I just talked about the Bobby Ewing episode. I just posted it tonight from this year's Terrificon. And somebody asked her, what did it feel like when you were on that show? And they came up with that, the writers. And she goes, I got to tell you, I know why they did it, because the ratings were going down and they wanted to pull them back up. But for everybody involved in that show, they never came back from that. Because once you do that, once you upset the thing, once you do a brand new day and wipe out Spider-Man's memory and everybody forgets who he is, you just basically tell the audience,
you lose
hey,
your core audience.
It's not real.
Yeah.
Screw you. Don't worry about it. You're wasting your time. Continuity's bullshit. We don't care. And once you do that, your audience is like, we've already been hanging on by a thread the last couple of years of Star Trek because they've kind of screwed it every which way they could. This was the final nail in the coffin. It's like, F you, old man. We're going to do what we want. This isn't your show anymore. Yeah. This is for kids that don't give a crap about your continuity. So anybody over 50, if you want to see your Star Trek, go watch your reruns on streaming Paramount, whatever the hell it's on nowadays. But the rest of it, maybe young people laughed at it. Maybe they thought it was hysterical. Maybe they didn't even catch the Wrath of Khan reference. Maybe they'll go see the Wrath of Khan that's playing in movie theaters next weekend. Maybe. And they'll see that and go, hey, they did something like that on Strange New Worlds with the puppets when they put them in the airlock and they touched the glass. I doubt it, but it is what it is. But
you see, that's what it
was bad, Wayne. I'm sorry,
my big complaint about the episode is the dream aspect. I said if they didn't do the dream, it would have stuck the landing because everything made sense until it hit the dream. And then to make little Ricky the father of death dreams or nightmare fuel, to make little Ricky nightmare fuel for Spock. Yeah. I thought that really pushed it. I thought it was a lot better until the end. I thought they were scared to leave it as is. I wish they did leave it as is to let this be an actual transporter issue, and that it literally flipped the switch. It's just like in the motion picture when they beamed the two people into one. When you had, I think, was it Two-Fix? Was it transporter accident? Again, we know that the transporter can mess up at times. So there's no. So that's been established. The transporter is not perfect. So they should have just left it that it was a transporter accident, turned everyone into puppets, and then not do the dream sequence, and then leave it as is. And it'd be great.
Wayne, respectfully, I disagree because again, going back to what Franco said, they contradicted their own logic within Spock's dream because at first La'an and number one are and also, by the way, I hated all the overacting as puppets. That was just more crap. But then all of a sudden we have to think like puppets, and now all of a sudden we can tackle the Orions after they were throwing them against the wall and all, which I'll admit I did think was funny. But again, and I did accept that because again, when you're stuck in the pain of it, you'll try and find something that you can enjoy. But that said, then there's still 4 ounces of felt. Their punches didn't work. So I mean, Scotty doing the electro glove, that was clever. I also like, by the way, that when after Pelia threw her shoes, her being a lanthanite like Holly Hunter, that again we saw barefoot Pelia on Starfleet Academy. So that made me smile. I won't deny that. I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. There were little things I like, but no, overall, they didn't adhere to their own logic, and they suckered us into thinking, oh no, this is really happening, and then it's a dream. And I'm sorry, like Franco said, that made it from being a crappy episode to an extremely crappy episode. And again, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad all the young people liked it. I also believe one of the reasons why I think the newer audience accepts this is in a lot of ways, even since the Kelvin movies, there is more kind of making fun of Star Trek, not in any overt way like we're getting lately, but at this point, and especially after this many seasons of Strange New Worlds, they're like, yeah, it's funny. Oh no, it's really funny that when Spock was dying and they do the thing on the glass and they're giving it an homage. No, I'm sorry, that's a big dramatic moment. And they've literally taken the coolest character in Star Trek and made him a joke. Spock is a joke. Spock is cucked three times. T'Pring, Chapel, and now La'an. Good Lord. And again, it only makes, like I said, when you go to the original series now, oh, Mr. Spock, maybe you'll like me someday. Yeah, F you. I remember on Strange New Worlds when you shut my ass down. And you want, back off, nurse. Get back to the sick bay and deal with McCoy. And also, by the way, I did laugh at M'Benga with the knitting needles and stuff. Man, they have taken M'Benga as just killer elite. Like, I mean, my God. So whatever. So anyway, we'll get to Lanterns. Don't worry. I see people in the chat ready to talk about Lanterns. But the good news might be I've seen photos from Thursday's coming episode, and it looks like it might be finally some traditional Star Trek. I don't know. The photos certainly look that way. So maybe we'll get one. But again, it's like
I'm not gonna hold my breath.
Yeah, I respect that, man. No, and again, regardless, we still got Trelane and we still got Doug coming. So they're at least, unless they conflate Trelane and Doug, we're in for more goof. And it's like, again, this is really Fonzie jumping over the shark. And that's why go. Fine. I can't wait for next year to be over so we can get out of this damn misery, get to the new movie, get to new characters and a new ship, and maybe get some real science fiction adventure. Wayne and I were talking off the air, and Wayne's like, you're holding out hope, I think. Tell me, I don't want to take your words, Wayne. What were you saying? And it got me angry.
We're
talking about who's going to take over Trek.
Whoever takes over New Trek. I don't think the direction's ever going to go back to what it used to be. I think if you look at the writing and how everything is being where are the future writers coming from? They're coming from this type of generation. This is the generation of writers that will write future future iterations of Star Trek.
There's some shows out there that are pretty smart, Wayne.
And then
I know, but you're not going to get those.
No, bullshit. I'm sorry. No, I disagree, Wayne. I agree with you that these are the people they're hiring that don't know science fiction and think. And again, the old regime, I keep learning more and more. This is why I'm excited to talk to Jamie from Tachyon Pulse, because he's got a Paramount insider. I'm not expecting him to reveal it, but essentially, as I understand it, the powers that be were encouraging Kurtzman to make the choices that he was making, and because they were after this elusive young audience. But For All Mankind, Silo, there's plenty of other science fiction that's going on. Certainly the Expanse. I mean, there's plenty of good science fiction being written. And God, the Ark. I mean, one of mine and Franco's favorite shows. And even Wayne was like, I got to catch up on season 3.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched this season yet.
I haven't started 3 yet either. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's smart science fiction going on, just not on Star Trek.
I can't believe I'm going to say that I'm hopeful for Star Trek Academy second season.
Oh, well, honestly, Francis, I was thinking the same thing, that maybe now that they got their feet wet and they've had a couple of away missions, maybe we'll get more ship things and not relationship. It's again, when you say ship to children, it's romance. And when you say ship to us, we're like, oh, you mean on a spaceship actually doing a mission? So I don't know. But yeah, Wayne, and also all the children are so worried that DEI is going to go away because the Ellisons and the way they vote and all the MAGA stuff. I would reserve judgment until we see what happens. And I don't mind a little Taylor Sheridan influence in my Star Trek, where we have strong men along with the strong women. That's the thing, man. All these choices they've made against Spock, they were to strengthen the women. And all I know is Voyager used to be able to show strong women, and Deep Space Nine used to be able to show strong women without at the expense of the men in the cast. And La'an is stronger now because she dumped Spock. Chapel does it in Song and Dance. And T'Pring, it's to bullshit, frankly. I just don't like it. I'm sorry,
line.
To bullshit. That's Vulcan for BS. And also, someone said in the chat, Spock knows that much about puppets. I think little Ricky was probably his only experience with puppets, unless Amanda brought a bunch of puppets onto Vulcan and stuff like, Spock, let's play. Maybe with Michael when they were children.
He used to play with Michael Burnham's dolls. Yeah, when she wasn't around.
Maybe they're setting us up in the last episode of Strange New Worlds. Spock wakes up and the entire thing was a dream. So this episode
can
was
only
a dream
hope.
within a dream.
And he's right beside Suzanne Plachette.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like Newhart. Yeah.
Again, kids, look up your old TV stuff.
They're not going to do that.
No,
They're not going to know
probably not
why
gonna do
does he trip over the hassock every week when the show opens. Like, what? That's Dick
Dick Van Dyke.
No one
Yeah.
knows what the hell you're talking
A
about.
couple comments here. Let's see. I'm sorry, one Marvel fan. With the merger, who knows what we'll get? Rad Puppy, I'm with Franco. I used to look forward to new Star Trek episodes, but Kurtzman Trek has damaged my fandom. At least I can go back and watch the good stuff prior to 2009. And Marvel fan again, the need to hire older people that really know the material. Well, even I know there are young people that get it, and that's the other thing that I hate. Oh, we have to change it because young people won't be into Star Trek. I was 5 years old and I got into Star Trek. I know a bunch of millennials that got into the reruns and everything. What you can't expect, and the same goes for Star Wars, is, and maybe a little bit more for Star Wars because they were mostly movies, but you're not going to get a mainstream audience. You got to accept it, and also work within the confines of a budget, because you don't, as flashy and impressive as all these special effects are. All I know is I can think of easily 10 bottle shows, and that you well know what the bottle show means, confining it to the standing sets and everything, that are infinitely better than anything we've gotten on Strange New Worlds. Honestly, there will come a moment at the end of this run where I will list, and I bet I won't be able to do it on both hands, how many actually good Star Trek Strange New Worlds episodes there have been. There have been a couple, but literally a couple out of now 35 episodes. That's embarrassing. That's damn embarrassing. And also, I don't accept, well, it's a new show and it's got to find its footing. No, I'm sorry. There's a structure to Star Trek. You either get it or you don't, or you choose to make fun of it and ignore it. And I think, sadly, we're in the third category with these jerks. So there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Hold
time
on.
to play the music. It's time to light the
Yeah, again, absolutely on the Muppet. If this were a Muppet sketch, I'd be okay with it. Pigs in Space. I love Pigs in Space.
Pigs in space.
But this is, I'm sorry, 54 minutes? 54 minutes? We all saw the Pike teaser. And like I said, I'm like, well, yeah, maybe this will be like a moment where Trelane is messing with them and we'll get like one scene of puppets. 54 minutes.
Maybe
Jesus
this is
Christ.
all in Pike's mind, because he's making new episodes in his head once he's in the chair.
Even better, he has a snow globe in his hand and he's shaking it.
Okay,
Kids,
that's right.
look it up.
Wayne is all about the reruns tonight. I love it. Rad Puppy. Terry Mattel seems to be on the right track with Picard season 3. He most likely wanted to do more. We would have loved it, but there was Kurtzman. Yeah, and also I know
I can answer his question.
Yeah, because I heard something
Yes,
about
I've
Vegas. Go
spoken
ahead.
with Terry, and I've been with him a few times over the years, past couple of years. Yes,
Yeah.
he wanted to do something. He was set to go. They wanted to do, what was it, the Star Trek Legacy?
Legacy.
Yeah, the Legacy show.
Ready to do Legacy. He was ready to even bring in Thomas Riker. They had an idea for Thomas Riker to come into the show. They were ready to do this, but Paramount, the showrunners, I think it was Goldman and that, were no, because I think there's a lot of jealousy involved, because basically Metalis was left alone. He was given a very small budget. The reason why it looked like it was a lot of just set stuff, like John says, bottle episodes, because season 3 did not have a lot of money given to it to make it.
Yeah,
So
and what they
I
did, they
think
made a
put
great,
most
they
of
made
their
a great
money
10
on
episodes.
the D, recreating the Enterprise D. But
well, also Wayne, I had also heard that he wanted to do like another either Romulan war or a Klingon war or something to that, like some new war with one of the existing alien races.
Yeah, no,
And
Terry had a whole bunch of ideas that he was really hoping that after the success of season 3, that Paramount would have given him the green light to go ahead and to do whatever he wanted to do, but something blocked it. And he didn't want to get into He didn't want to get into what blocked it, but something blocked it.
Sure.
Because the fans really, old and new, really love season 3 of Picard.
Because it was pretty
bringing
well
bringing the
that's-
old people. Yeah.
Don't you think that's what the Ellisons are seeing, and that's why they're not interested in renewing this deal? The
Oh, I hope
interesting
not.
thing will be is because as I understand, and again, I want to hear more from Jamie from Tachyon Pulse, because he's kind of talked about this on his YouTube channel. I can't recommend it enough. I mean, honestly, if you're angry like I am, you'll feel better that you're not yelling in the distance. That there is, because then also I believe Jamie's a millennial, so that makes you feel a little bit better that it isn't just all of us screaming from the porch at clouds. But the fact that oh god, I've even lost my train of thought. I'm so angry. Never mind. God damn it. I'm sorry. I forgot. Exactly, man. For real. No, again, man, I just, they mock this shit. I don't, they like I said, I think it's the third category. They think it's funny.
And I'm going to tell you, the actors, I've interacted with the actors for 4 years now.
I know.
And they love this stuff, man.
Of course they do.
I still see people bringing up the LP for them to sign.
The musical. Yeah.
The musical.
No, again, Wayne, that makes sense because when you do a job every day and you're stuck in one character, it gets tedious. I mean, I hear this from my friends that both write and act in plays, and they've got to do a several-month run, and they're doing the same show every day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, whatever. So the opportunity to do things differently, of course the actors love it. That makes perfect sense. The problem is you need somebody in there to go, all right, maybe one a season. Is that, I mean, again, I'm sorry they have all these, what they think are brilliant homages, but it dilutes the product. And it betrays the thing. And why, I would know what I was going to say. Why would you, the response to Picard season 3, given that, why would you continue to divide the audience? Because you cannot deny that the audience has been divided and that it isn't just a bunch of cranky old men. I understand how loud the complaints are on social media, but I also see how positive the positive things about Stranger Worlds and Academy are. But again, Picard season 3, we all pretty much loved it, and it cracked that Nielsen top 10 or Arbitron. I forget who measures ratings these days for streaming. Stranger Worlds only done it once, and it has not done it mostly this season, and that's a problem. And again, it's too expensive of a show to not have better results. Anyway. All right. Let's see. Oh, here, real fast Marvel fan. John mentions he likes the Arc TV show. That's written and show run by very old men. You know, I know Dean Devlin is the guy from Independence Day. I know he's behind it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's also from Godzilla.
Sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
Yeah.
there's bad stuff in everybody's past.
Yeah, exactly. We'll forgive him.
I like Godzilla.
Why was Core in the black and white episode and he has ridges? Well, again, Red, but he says about the ridges. I hear you, but that I think is as an aesthetic thing. And I would rather see a consistency from Next Gen on. I know they explained why they didn't have ridges in Enterprise and things like that. And I know Core originally didn't. I don't like that they refer to Cord's facial hair as Fu Manchu. And that, of course, leads people to say yellowface. And it's like, these are aliens. And they'll also say that the Klingons, that it was white men with brown faces, that it was blackface. These are aliens. I'm sorry. And maybe that's my old man.
There's no green Orion people out there?
Well,
What the hell, man? I thought
that's, I
Son
believe,
of
is it Green Giant? Yeah, whoever makes Green Giant canned vegetables.
Yvonne de Craig,
Holly Green Giant.
Yvonne de Craig was not really green. She was in green body. Are you telling
her
me
go home.
Lou Ferrigno wasn't really green?
Yeah, it's you're right. That's racist.
Oh no, he was originally gray.
Son of
That's true too. Stan Goldberg. That's true. I don't know, man. All right. Speaking of green, perhaps we should move on to a fantastic show. 2 episodes in. Loving Lanterns, boys. Loving it. Loving everything about it. I love the now there's Easter eggs done the right way. Mogo doesn't socialize, was fantastic as a password. But really, these two episodes, one of the reasons why we're doing this now on Mondays is that we'll be able to talk about last night's episode as well. So if you haven't watched Lanterns yet, and you're watching or listening now, you might want to come back after you watch episode 2. But let's start the Lanterns conversation. As far as I'm concerned, out of 5 stars, both episodes, 5 out of 5. It's been amazing.
Oh, I thought I'd go back to the old John system, 4 stars.
For Canada. Damn you, Canada.
Well, we could not negotiate a trade agreement, so we got to go by a different standard.
I put more tariffs on your ass from now on, Wayne. And I don't want to hear about hockey either. Go ahead.
Let me tell you, I liked it. Even after it's over, I couldn't get enough of Lanterns. I even watched the after show thing, which I usually don't watch that because usually it's a bunch of like people just kissing ass and it's annoying. But anyway. No, it's true. It's like, was it great to work with somebody? It was great. Of course. What are they going to say? They're getting paid by the man. They're shilling, for Christ's sake. Nah, this episode sucked. I hate that guy. He's the worst piece of crap in Hollywood. But no,
yes,
it was good. And though I tell you, there was some dissent. I'm going to tell you, believe it or not.
I know.
I think you can hear it on the podcast, the Power Cosmic podcast with Jerry Ordway, live from a pizza restaurant. Jerry, and no offense to Mr. Tom King, who I love, has been at the show many a times, good friend of John's up there. Always makes a lot of money at my show when he tells me that. I make more money at your convention than any other convention. I go, what is that supposed to mean? Like I'm easy?
That's good.
But anyway.
That means he likes you.
I know, but it's so weird. It's like I have more sex at your house than any other house. I'm like, wait, what?
He's not saying that.
So anyway, Jerry said, this is Jerry Ordway, old school, almost 70. He said
DC legend.
It's
Modern
got
DC
a lot of Tom King tropes in it because he's read the stuff and he's read a bunch of other things. He's seen, and I'm like, I don't mind it, Jerry, because I don't want, God knows I don't want the Ryan Reynolds movie, I mean, that's out there, but I like the fact that we got, maybe it's just Kyle Chandler's charisma and personality and acting. He just brings a lot to the table. It's like, this guy can do no wrong. I've never seen him do a bad performance, but the guy, I've never seen him before, at least I don't think so. The one that's playing Jon Stewart. He's everybody in the show is great. I mean, literally, when you watch a show and everybody on screen is hitting it over the park, over the wall, you're like, hey man, this is a quality show.
And have these character actor guys, like the guy that plays the bad guy, the
cowboy.
Yeah, the cowboy guy. Yeah.
Oh,
like he's been in a bunch of different shows. He was
that's what we said.
In Raising Hope, I loved him in that. And he's been in a bunch of other shows. He's great, and every time he shows up,
that's
John
the guy
Ritter's
in
son.
Yeah. Wait. John Ritter's son. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No,
isn't that his son?
Oh, is he the guy with the mustache?
He's the son. He's the son of the rancher.
Yeah, the sheriff,
the lawyer.
Oh, really?
I
thought that was the guy that plays Sam Kirk on Star Trek at one point. I go, is that the guy from Strange New Worlds?
No, that's John Ritter's son.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The dissent I've heard online was all the swearing and this isn't really my lanterns and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? There's got to be changes. You expect changes in Trek. You expect changes in a lot of shows when they reboot it or they redo it or they have another version of it. I think this has been fantastic. The 2 episodes I've seen are just great. Yes, the dissent about the swearing and stuff like that, but you know what? It's made for an older audience. It's on HBO Max. It's on at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah. They drop more F-bombs in the first 3 minutes of this week's episode than we do a whole year Trek watch. I was like, holy crap. I mean, it was almost like they had a game to see how many times you could say fuck. It was like, hey, what the fuck? What the fuck? And it was just like, okay, I get it. You could say the F word, but man, oh man, this is like the Sopranos.
Not only did they say the F word, they did the F word in the first.
In episode 1. Yeah, man. Yeah.
But this is Hal Jordan from like Emerald Twilight. He is burnt out. He is burnt out. Stumped. And again, it has to do with look at how fast he did his oath. In Brightest Day and Blackest Night, you look through all the comics. You see it. It's more of a slow. I'm going to power up my ring. I have to say this oath because it means something. It doesn't mean anything anymore to Hal.
Right.
He just needs to do this. It's rote.
Can I just say one thing, Wayne? Maybe because you just read slowly.
Oh. Exactly. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
It's a
it is the
comic book.
perception on your part, Wayne, because
I
it
was
is
gonna
written
say,
words
it
rather
doesn't-
than.
But you know what?
But
I'm
you don't when you read
I
it,
agree
you
with
don't
Wayne.
read it as the way that he did it. Ba, 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 done.
I am right.
I know
He's
you
like,
mean.
he's like
I know
Al
you mean.
Bundy. Hey, hey,
No.
I
One
got
of the
another
best,
second in me.
one of the best mass jokes ever. When Radar's writing home to his mom, "Dear Mom, I'm writing this letter slow because I know you can't read fast." That's Wayne right
No,
there.
but when
Those
true.
writers wrote
No.
slow
True.
because they knew. The
And when
Canadian
they've done
people-
the oath on TV through the animation, they don't rush through it.
Oh, yeah.
It is in
You know-
brightest
Oh, look,
day,
when Phil
blackest
Lamar
night.
does it in Black
When-
as Night. Oh my God, he feels.
Wh-
I got chills thinking of Phil Lamar saying it, man.
Yeah.
When I was
I can top that.
hold
Go
on,
to-
hold on. I'm trying to talk.
He's
Relax.
trying to top something, John.
And then no, the way real fast because this is regarding the oath and everything else. I hadn't seen the animated Jon Stewart movie. I forget what it's called.
Oh yeah,
I think
Emerald.
Beware
yeah.
My Power.
Emerald Twilight.
No, not Emerald
No,
Twilight.
you're
It's
right.
an
Beware
animated
My
movie. It's
Power.
called-
Yes.
Yeah, Beware My Power. And that's a really interesting take where Hal goes bad, and we find out why. But it's great. I happened to be watching it when I was at Terrificon. And yeah, so I know Mohegan Sun's great convention, August. I forget when.
I don't know.
next
Somewhere in August.
But-
These people
But
should
yeah,
know.
yeah.
this.
So
For
yeah,
Christ's
but no, it was really Chucky and I were watching it. We're like, and I didn't have to go down the floor right away, so I watched it. I'm sorry, Wayne. You could go ahead, but I just wanted
Yeah,
to
Go ahead,
I'll
Wayne. Come on, top him, buddy.
As I was
Let's
about
go.
to top Mitch, I was in a theater with over 4,000 people at San Diego, where Bruce Timm led us in the Green Lantern Oath, and we did not rush through it as fast as Hal did in this episode.
Sure.
We literally said the words, and we were all in sync with one another. So you don't rush through now. The Golden Age Green Lantern Oath. That is a hard one to try to get
I was going
off
to
your
say,
head.
yeah, that's
one.
the oath. Yeah, if you know that oath verbatim and don't have to look it up on the internet.
I know,
and I know it's
parts
like,
of it,
and I
but
shall
there
shed
is
my
no
light
rhyme
against
or
the
rhythm with it.
I'm not on.
that, and that's
Yeah,
the that's
fight
well,
nerds.
actually, I thought that was
Nerds.
Bester, but no, Alfred Bester wrote in Brightest
Whoa,
Day or whatever.
that one
Hey,
was
Wayne.
such a
Wayne.
hard
I
one.
saw a movie once called 2 Minute Warning. It was 2 hours long.
My buddy and I were talking about 2 Minute Warning this past
Remember that
weekend.
movie?
No,
It's a
Yeah.
great movie. Jack Klugman's
Jack
betting on
Klugman,
the game.
Exactly.
He's
He goes
he's
screaming.
betting on-
He won the lottery. He goes, I won. And the guy blows him away.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
are you thinking about
Great
Emerald
movie.
Knights?
No,
Maybe
no.
that's what it was.
Or maybe it is. Is that what it's called?
There's
it
Green
was on
Lantern,
HBO
Emerald Knights.
Max.
It's only it's only a year or two old.
Right.
Oh, okay, the later one. All right.
Yeah, I think it's Beware My Power.
No, but speaking of that, I was saying how I watched that after show. When you go on HBO Max, they go, you might also like
Yeah.
this. And they have all the Green Lantern. They have the series that was on, the animated one. They have the I
Ryan
think
Reynolds.
Justice League's on, but there's a bunch of them. Yeah, the Ryan.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, the Ryan
No,
Reynolds
I
came
know.
up like 5 or 6 when I was going across to see
it's
what
the
they had
worst
for
one.
Green Lantern.
It's the worst
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Emerald
But
Knights
listen-
is great. That's the shorts. Go ahead, Franco.
Let me just say I'm going to cut out because I'm losing power
Okay.
on my
Yeah.
device. But I just want to say I love Lantern. So yeah, go on. I'll catch the rest of it later. But thanks for having me on. I'll talk to you guys.
Thanks, Francis. We'll see you next
All
week.
right.
Franco.
Have a good vacation. All right, he's going back to Starbase 12 and going to deal with
Losing
the
power.
crap,
What's going on? Look at
all that
that.
stuff. All right, I'm
She's
taking him
still
out. I took him out. You could
All
he
right.
could struggle on his own. No, but Beware My Power. If you haven't seen it, it's really
Yeah.
great.
It's a good one.
Adam Strange, I want to say, is also in it. And is it? It's not. Is it? Oh, it is Hawk Girl because they do the Ron Thanagarian War is part of the storyline as well. It's excellent, and it's a great Jon Stewart thing. I was going to say though, regarding the Ryan Reynolds thing, ironically, my dear friend Veronica, who goes by Lady V, and we do movie reviews, old movie reviews and stuff. I'm like, what'd you think of Lanterns? She's like, I got to be honest. And she's a lady of color. She's like, I didn't like White Guy Hal bossing John around. And I'm like, she's like, well, it smacks of a little racism. I'm like,
Oh.
Veronica, he's a sergeant.
Yeah.
He's an
He's
enlisted man.
the grunt.
I said-
Yeah.
And I'm like, so it's okay though that Lou Gossett Jr. was,
But
bossing
you know,
around
you
Richard
say
Gere.
that, Johnny. You say that, and I saw somebody comment that today on Facebook. They go, I didn't like it when she says, "Where's your white man?" or something. I go, what? I
Yes.
didn't even catch that
Yeah,
stuff.
Grandma said
You know
that.
what? I
in the-
gotta
in the
admit,
dining.
I mean, I'm 60 years old. I've been on this planet for 6 decades. I'm glad I grew up without a lot of like stupid ideas because I just watch
Yeah.
stuff. And then somebody tells me afterwards, you know what that meant? I go, dude, I just watched a show. I like being
No, it's-
oblivious.
yeah.
I didn't
Well,
see
again,
that.
in
And that's the
fairness to
time.
Veronica,
No, lots of times people bring their own stuff
I
into
know.
things.
Well, of
And I
course.
go, I think that was you that saw that because I didn't hear
Yeah.
that.
Well,
I mean,
also,
yeah.
all Veronica had seen was the Ryan Reynolds movie, and she really didn't know the mythos. And I explained to her.
No.
I said,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking
No,
about
I
the,
know,
the
but
comment
but
I
that
saw.
point is
Yeah.
forget Mitch. With all respect, that's self-evident, and I agree with you. But we really don't need to say more than you just said.
No,
in
I know,
terms
but
of, you're bringing your own baggage. to it.
no, but I look at it like there was that movie that came out years ago with Robert Duvall, and I believe it was Sean Penn. Was it? Remember they were cops.
Colors.
Was it
Colors.
Colors. Yeah. And he tells them that story about how the bull
The Bulls.
goes
Yeah.
down. He's like, "Why run
Yeah.
down and get all those young bulls?" And
We'll
it was
mess-
that
yeah,
whole,
we'll get all of them.
it was that whole mentor,
Yes.
young guy type of thing. And that's the way I just saw it. I just saw it as like an old drill sergeant because my dad was in the service, and that's the young rookie that's coming on board. And they always break your balls and stuff because you're the new guy. I didn't.
People were bringing up Training Day as well.
Training
the,
Day is another good movie. Yeah,
yes,
I didn't.
yeah.
I don't.
No, this
put any
is-
of the stuff.
No,
to it.
Well, that's
I
what I'm
think-
saying, man. So she didn't know.
No,
And
I
she-
know,
she
but
accepted
sometimes
what said.
I watch, then I'll watch it through somebody else's eyes. Now I go, ooh, maybe I shouldn't be like
Now,
this.
the other thing, because knowing the Green Lantern lore, the only way that the ring gets passed on is through the
Yeah.
death of the
Yes.
previous holder. So now the Oa, the Guardian, said, "Hey, Hal, we want you to train somebody." This is like a first time that someone that right now that we're aware of that a Guardian has
Mhm.
imposed his or her will onto a current Green Lantern to train his or her replacement,
Well,
which is a little different. And I can see Hal being very resentful for that because it's like,
Well, no, wait a second. Okay, go ahead, John. I'll tell you.
well, I was
something.
going to say, and,
No, I was
and-
gonna
and
say
Mitch
they-
might be
they-
thinking as well that first of all, Sinestro trained Hal in continuity. Secondly,
There you go.
specifically within this sector, maybe we haven't seen it. Let's find out because
Mhm.
the tease at the end of this episode that all had us, holy shit, what's going to happen next? Of course, is what's coming
Sinestro.
with the Hal Sinestro conversation.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
do know from the season trailers, as Sinestro says to him, how do you know you're not supposed to just train him? How do you know he's not your replacement?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
given the differences in this TV continuity that we're already experiencing, we'll see. We'll see what it means.
No, and plus,
we'll see what the
Guy
Guardian-
Gardner.
Go ahead, yeah.
And I'm saying now, and Guy Gardner's got the ring in the Superman movie, and I'm thinking, when does that take place in context to this? Did we see
It
Superman? Was
does.
it last year? It's before this show, right?
no, Green
has
Lantern
to be
takes
because he
place
had the
before
ring.
Superman. Because the ring that this is what I've read.
The ring that Gardner has is Jordan.
That ring that Gardner has is Hal's.
Oh, so when he gets killed in the first episode, the ring went to go find who's closest, and it picked Gardner, and that's what
And it
happened.
picked Gardner.
Oh shit! All right.
Well,
There
and
you go.
also maybe, and we don't know because I mean, you're right. Guy
Well,
has
no.
the ring, and Guy is based on Earth. Does John do like in the comics and go to another
The
sector?
mosaic.
We don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
We don't
Well,
know.
because they already showed you that obviously John Stewart doesn't need the ring because he manifested that little canary, the green one, and he kept it alive. He had no ring on the whole time, and he
Right.
kept it coming back and forth until he turned it out. And then at the end, Sinestro tells him, "Your biggest threat is not the Manhunters; it's John Stewart because he's like this embodiment of all the green energy or something." That's
Yeah,
what happened to
he-
Kyle Rayner in the books. Didn't he become like something called Ion or something? He absorbed.
Yeah,
the
he became,
battery?
later he became Ion.
Yeah. So he was
EJP,
like-
yes, we know that this main story is taking place 10 years ago. That's why
Right.
at the end of the first episode in 2026, Hal is dead. So we
Right.
understand that. The Guy Gardner juxtaposition, given that he has a ring in Superman and this story, I assume it will be explained because I know that Guy is in the Lantern show at
Yes,
some
they
point.
showed him. Yeah.
But I'm excited. I love this guy. I mean, good Lord, he had 30 seconds on camera at the end of the second episode. I'm loving this.
Who's that actor? What's he been in?
I don't know. It's Jerry
John-
Stiller
no.
from the Seinfeld show. No, it's not.
No, I don't know because I go. Oh,
I don't
maybe
really know.
know. He's probably one of those
Oh, wait.
dragon guys. Those what's that British show? The dragon thing that was Game of
It's
Thrones.
Ulrich.
Primeval.
Wait,
Primeval.
it's Ulrich Thompson, and if I'm not mistaken, he was in.
Somebody said Banshee.
Oh, what's the show?
Banshee,
Okay,
somebody
that's not
said.
the one. I was thinking Banshee.
That's what he just
That's
said.
what. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah,
Marvel
no,
wanted
but I'm
to
looking to make sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is
Yeah,
interesting because he
Banshee.
looked
He
very
was the.
different.
He was Kai.
the Proctor, the former
Wait a
Amish
minute,
guy
John.
that runs the town.
He was pinkish purple on the show.
I know, and also he's
Oh,
got
man,
different
I
hair.
can't
I
watch
mean,
it, yeah.
well, they shaved his head obviously too, and he's thicker than he was 10 years ago when he did Banshee. A great bad guy, an excellent bad guy.
I'll tell you what. When
always.
when I used to read the Green Lantern religiously in the '80s, when Steve Englehart was doing it and Joe Staton was writing it, and they had the Green Lantern Corps, and then there was the spinoff with John Stewart was called Mosaic, and Guy Gardner came. They were some of the best Green Lanterns because that's when I became a big fan of it. I always liked Gil Kane's artwork, but I thought the stories were pretty. You read one, you read them all. And then they had the Grell stories when he teamed up with Green Arrow in the 70s. Those were really good. Of course, you got the Neil Adams, Danny O'Neill.
Well, actually, I was going to say that's
no, but there's high like with all these characters. There's some points those are great stories, and then it falls off and comes back.
If you're not reading, and I'm saying this not to you guys, not just you guys, but the entire audience, and you guys, the audience knows because I've had these guys on the show already.
Yeah.
Jeremy Adams, another great Terrificon veteran, doing an excellent job on the main book, but Morgan Hampton is doing the core book right now. He is killing it. It is and what DC is doing now that is so much smarter, rather than doing events that are throughout every book.
Yeah.
They're really confining it to the book and the satellite book. I know coming up, we're going to get Clark Kent Murderer in both Batman and Detective. That's coming up in a couple months. But right now, for instance, this Zod story that they're doing in all the Superman books is fantastic. And I've already read Wednesday's new issue that Josh Williamson is doing. And there's a major turn that I don't think anybody's expecting. And it's going to be a holy crap moment.
Well, I'll tell you, it's stuff like that gets you to love comic books because now that I'm taking time off from the show, the Terrificon's over. So I got a couple weeks.
Catching
up.
up.
What do? I clean my garage and I'm throwing shit out and all that stuff. But I sit there and I go, oh, why do I have so many comics? Why do I have that? But I'll find something that I go, oh, that was a great story. And suddenly that enjoyment that you had, that's probably why I go every Wednesday looking for that. You're trying to get a fix again. It's like junk, like a drug addict. You're trying to get that high. But there's so many great stories out there. And I know people crap on books and say comics are dead, and they're not. You just have to go looking for the good ones. And every so often, a series like Superman that's been around for over 80 years, you're like, what could you possibly do now? They'd come up with a new angle or something you never saw before. And it's like, oh, this is a good book, And I mean, God knows the absolute stuff that Snyder's done is like, the world's on fire over there. Hopefully Marvel gets the back in gear and starts getting good stories going. I think they got something coming up with this Midnight thing. But
tomorrow night, actually, I'm going to have Philip Kennedy Johnson on to talk about Midnight Spider-Man and also all the stuff that he's doing with the Hulk and even Superman House of L, which is a future story. But I think right now DC is killing it. And it's
I'll tell you. I was going to say the Green Lantern, when I was a kid reading those stories, I always hoped after Star Wars was done back in the 80s that they made a Green Lantern movie, because when I was like, Jesus, would this be great if you got the core and you had all those alien races and you had these epic stories going over galaxies and, tremendous things. And then that movie came out and they tried too much in one movie. If they kept Hal Jordan with the Ryan Reynolds story on Earth, and at the end he finds out there's other Green Lanterns, so that could have been part 2, and then he introduced the core, and then you could have had the big fight with Sinestro, and it could have been Parallax would have been at the end. But they did too much. They tried to get everything they could in the kitchen sink in one movie. It was too much, no character development, and Reynolds, as good as he is, he was too snarky. He was more like Kyle Rayner. I'm like, he's not.
Oh, Mitch just winked out. I swear to God, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, John.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, sure, John. Exactly. Oh, by the way, I didn't like back to Trek. I didn't like T'Pring saying hijinks. It's like
Hijinks.
I don't think Vulcans know what hijinks are. No hijinks. So Mitch is backstage, but his camera and mic aren't on yet. So hopefully he'll be back soon.
The thing about the lanterns, what I like, I was reading Green Lantern back in the 70s. So
yeah,
being
me too.
older.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to the Adams stuff I got in boxes. But again, the Mike Grell stuff was amazing. Going to the Joe Staton stuff. The Corps, the Green Lantern Corps. How could you not like Space Police?
Yes.
And the fact that
I agree.
They're limited to not 48 hours, but 24 hours, and then they have to recharge their ring. Kind of like Aquaman has to have a little bit of glass of water every so often to make sure that he can still do his powers.
Well,
I don't
also
know, something that was really cool about it.
The space cop thing, you likely know, Wayne, that that was inspired by the old science fiction writer Doc Smith, and there was a series called The Lensmen, and they were space cops as well. And obviously, Julie Schwartz, being so tied to science fiction, brought all that into the Hal Jordan continuity when all that started in the 50s and stuff.
And I like that I was going to say, I like that the lantern that they used for Hal had a really golden age look to it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I also have watched I watched one after show, and it had all three producers, Chris Mundy and Damon Lindelof and Tom. And the guy they were talking to, Tom brought up the fact that, the original Green Lantern comes from the old railroad days, where if there was a problem on the tracks, someone would have a red lantern. But if everything was fine, there'd be a Green Lantern.
Have the Green Lantern,
and that was the inspiration for the hero and everything.
And that's why on the lights and when on railway crossings, like red lights. Yeah.
Do you have any? I have a couple Marty and Odell pieces I was able to get before he passed away. The co-creator.
No,
of the Golden
I have a really cool Shelley Madoff, Justice Society of America piece.
Oh, that's cool! Wow, that's really cool. And I also have an Alex Saviuk Hal Jordan that he did for me years ago, and it's a full shot of him in flight and everything. It's great. I'm with you, man. When I was a little kid getting my hair cut at Vince's barbershop in the 12-cent days, he would have comics, and the two things that I remember most were what's his face doing the Flash, Carmine Infantino, and all those amazing things, and Gil Kane. Let me finish. Gil Kane doing lanterns. And all the different, the one-eyed lantern and the guy that's the tree and all these other and that's what I loved about Liam Sharp and Grant Morrison, because they really went back to that full force. And they had the lantern had a volcano for a head. Go ahead. What were you going to say, Ben?
Yeah, I was going to say because the Flash that you were reading at the time was inked by Murphy Anderson, so it didn't have that same look that it was when Carmine came back to the Flash. So it was really sweet. It was like the Strange Adventures look.
Yes.
So it was really a nice look. And with Gil Kane, I'm trying to think who inked him. I think it could have been Joe Giella that inked Gil Kane. But again, what made those stories fun, and they were fun because where Batman's villains are all psychological, most of them are very psychologically based, like your different phobias, your different fears, your different psychoses are Batman villains. But with the Flash and Green Lantern, they were always scientific based. Like you look at the Flash's rogues, that is literally a gang of science rejects. Whether it's Captain Cold or Heat Wave or Captain Boomerang, you're dealing more with the scientific aspects. And even Green Lanterns, where it was Hector Hammond with the big head and that.
All right, internet went down.
Okay, go ahead, John. Sorry, Mitch, what were you going to say?
No, I was just saying, I always thought that had potential that the Green Lanterns could be an epic series of movies, and I'm glad that they finally figured it out, even though it's on the small screen, but it's still being well done. I think it could have had a bigger audience, that's for sure, if they didn't screw up that damn movie.
Well, I'm really curious when ratings come out to see how this does, because I also appreciate that as much as we love all the great stuff from the comics, that it is at the end of the day a combination of True Detective and Training Day and Colors, because I think that it makes it more accepting to a mainstream audience. And certainly, despite the violence and my God, we had the alien penis in episode 2 as well. But despite that, I hope that it's getting more of a mainstream audience, because I understand the people that had their issues with Peacemaker and everything. But I think this is great, and I'm hoping for the best. But it's so far so good after 2 episodes.
Well, here's the problem with comics nowadays. Like Supergirl is a good example of it. Who's the audience they're going for? Spider-Man made $2.2 billion. It's not stopping because it's a universal property. Everybody from a 5-year-old kid can go to a 60-year-old guy like me. Everybody enjoyed it. Lanterns is obviously done for an adult audience. You're not going to have like a 10-year-old kid watch this movie. I hope not. But
no,
it's too adult. Supergirl, they tried being both things. I think they want to be Guardians of the Galaxy smug, and they wanted to be serious, and then they wanted to appeal to little kid. They didn't know what they were doing in that movie. It was really a mess.
I keep going back to the girl slavers, the alien race taking the women to make male warriors. Yeah, and it's like, what kind of message is that for little girls?
That's what I told you. I was like,
inspirational. Yeah.
I knew people that said they had like girls under 10. They weren't going to take them to that because they didn't want to have that awkward conversation where like, well, the girls were being kidnapped because they were going to be used as sex slave. And like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a break. No, that's
oopsie.
So, again, but by the way, I did find it funny in that first episode when John has random sex with the lady and she turns out to be not only the cowboy's wife, but grandma. Like,
yeah. They get married young down there, John.
Kind of a hot grandma, absolutely.
Now, there's a rumor that she's a
alien.
Yeah, an alien, but also part of the Star Sapphires.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Oh, is that a theory that's out there that she's?
That's a theory that's out there that she's a Star Sapphire, because if you listen to the way she talks about love and all that.
Yeah,
and that they're thinking, hey, we got to see whether or not a pink ring shows up anywhere.
Maybe she's a manhunter. Oh, somebody just said that. Marvel fans.
By the way, and I love, which many I seen posts they didn't like seeing. Yes, probably the sex and the cock. Yeah. And I'm assuming the crank, alien crank. But I love Paul. I forget the guy's name. The bald guy that kidnapped John and that group, and the guy that did He's great. He's not Ben Urich. He's the defendant in the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie, but also he was on that Invisible Man sci-fi Canadian show from the 90s. I remember
David McCullum
on that. His first no. That's the 70s show.
I remember that.
Paul something. I know his first name is
Paul Ben Victor.
Yes, and he was also Mo in the Three Stooges movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The one that had Sofia Vergara, that one?
No, the TV movie that Michael Chiklis.
Mel Gibson. I think he produced that.
Yes, that's right.
That's a good one. Right. That's a good one.
Yeah. Well, it was in terms of an attempt to show behind the scenes stuff as far as the Stooges go. No, it's an interesting movie. Yeah.
It's better than that Abbott and Costello movie with Buddy Hackett and Harvey Korman.
The worst.
I can never have a strawberry milkshake without thinking of him dying at the end. When Artie Johnson's the manager and he comes to visit him in the hospital. Lou, here, they did the best milkshake because Buddy Hackett had a bad lisp or something, and it was just and he's like
strawberry malted I ever had.
Yeah, and then he goes, and then you got and he's in the room. He goes, I saw Abbott was on the news last night, asking people to send him a quarter so he could have a proper burial. It's really bad. Oh, they love the strawberry shake, and then he dies. But that is true about Bud Abbott. He did ask people to send him money.
Yeah, I remember it was in the Inquirer. They ran it in the National Enquirer. Absolutely, man. I remember.
They played with time then because Costello died in the 50s, I think, 59. And then that happened later on. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Because Bud did the Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Yep.
And then played himself again. Yeah. So Marvel fan also thinks technically, yes, she might be a manhunter. Somebody else, and then another theory is that she's a Red Lantern. So
I hope they don't. I mean, I love
I hope
Jeff
not either.
Johns, but I never was a fan of all the multicolored ring thing because it got too confusing. Like the blue is calm, the red is anger, the yellow is this. I go, dude, stop.
And atrocious. Yeah. Again, I
don't get
appreciate
too
fan
thick into it.
theories.
Yeah.
I'm happy to wait and see what they give us.
You don't want to go from 0 to 60, and then you're going to lose the audience. They'll be like, "Wait, what?
I knew
There's
it.
multiple
I knew
colors?"
it. It's like, and that's fine if you figure it out. More power to you. That's wonderful. Have your own show, and you can.
Because my wife asked me, she goes, "Why isn't it called Green Lantern instead of just lanterns?" I'm like, "Just let it go. Let it go."
Yeah. I know.
Because if
I
they
did
call
like
it Green
that,
Lantern, people might not watch it. They'd be going, "Oh, that shitty movie." Honestly,
for real, man. No,
Yeah.
do you remember that was the problem with John
Fantastic
Carter?
Four.
They
Oh,
were
yeah.
afraid of using the word Mars in the title because the cartoon Mars Needs Women really bombed, and they're like, "Oh, maybe
No, Mars
maybe-
needs moms.
Moms.
That was
Moms,
there was
pardon
a Burke
Mars
Brothers-
needs
There is a
women.
Mars
Blue-
Needs Women, but that's a
Bloom
different
County
movie.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. That's the low budget sci-fi movie from the 50s.
Yeah,
So,
that was a horrible movie.
both were. But no, that's again, they sometimes outsmart themselves. I did like that John brought the uniform, and I love that Hal put
Yes.
it on
Yeah,
and then went to the space station. At first, I thought the space station where Sinestro was, I was kind of wondering if that was the Watchtower or the satellite.
Oh, no.
satellite.
I thought that was Oa. I thought that
It
was
is
the
Oa.
planet. Okay, I didn't know if
Okay.
it
It
gets
is
the
Oa,
prison
and that's
one.
the science prisons in Oa.
Oh, all right.
Got it.
Somebody
think we'll see a
complained that they
Guardian?
didn't. What's that?
Do you think we'll see a Guardian?
Next
Yeah.
episode,
Oh, okay.
Oh, are we definitely going to see a Guardian next episode?
we're going to see a Guardian in human guise.
Oh,
Because they
there you
can't
go.
afford too
save
much
on that
makeup.
budget.
That's
Save
okay.
on that blue
That's all right.
budget.
Yeah.
You don't
I got
wanna
no-
hit
John
honestly-
Stewart has a conversation with a Guardian.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
So wait, real quick. When they shot John Stewart in the head with that gun thing, were they projecting like images of like what happened to their race there? Because I was
I
like,
assume they were.
because
Yeah,
he was
I assume
messed
they
up
were.
when he came back to see Hal. He had that look on his
Right.
face, like I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, what's going
He
on
saw
Yeah.
what
here?
because the Manhunters destroyed their planet.
And you know
Correct.
what's weird? How did the sheriff know about Sinestro when he's like muttering it? She goes, "Oh," he goes, "I'm
looked
not
it up
allowed to talk
online.
about that." She looked
She
it up online.
online. Yeah, she was reading from her phone.
So
And
the
I mean,
Green
that's the thing.
Lanterns, he's not allowed to. It's declassified. He can't talk about it. But somehow somebody wrote it down. And
No,
let
I
the Earth
think
know about it.
there might be some information that maybe the Manhunters were classified, but the whole Sinestro Hal thing. might be
Sinestro
public.
would have fought Hal probably on Earth.
Oh, maybe that's how
Yeah.
they found
You
out.
got to
That's how I
remember,
assume.
Hal stops Sinestro.
Right.
After if we go to the comic lore, Sinestro trains Hal. Hal then
Right.
goes
And then
to
he tries to
Sinestro's
turn
planet
against.
and
yes.
goes, "Hey, you're a tyrant. That's not right." And
Yeah,
then they have
I
a big
remember.
fight. So
Yeah.
they could have had a fight on Earth, and then Hal, being the news hound that he is, said, "Yeah, this is Sinestro. He's a bad guy."
Yeah.
So
Well, and
And they got-
also
What?
he had been Green Lantern for 20 years because John was watching him in 1996, and
Mhm.
he's young Green Lantern there. And then we jumped to 2016 for the main story, and then at the end we got 26 where he's dead. I mean, I'm fascinated. And as much as I love Hal, and it was funny watching the main producers and Lindelof and King. Chris Mundy is like, "Hey, I got to be honest. I'm not a comic book guy. These guys brought me up to date." And that's fine because you have two guys that are. Certainly you've got King, who's the uber comic nerd, but David Lindelof is enough of a comic fan as well. And that's great. And then you bring in Mundy to, I think, balance things out and maybe he's the voice in the room that says, yeah, but maybe we should pull it a little more mainstream for these reasons. I look forward to the day, whether it happens on the record or off the record, that I can sit down with Tom and find out how it was with the three of them collaborating and everything. Because
We should get him back next year, Johnny.
oh, he's
We
coming.
should-
Well, we should get him for Terrificon, no
That's what I'm
question.
saying.
But-
yeah, he hasn't been
but,
here in
I
2
mean,
years.
Right now, given that the show is going on, I know his schedule is nuts. We were going to try and talk before Lanterns premiered, but thankfully, one of my best friends in comics and promises me we'll get together and we BS with each other, either texting or talking when we can, when he's not guesting on the show. So, and honestly, as bad as Supergirl was in the theaters, he made a mint on those books being resold. Everybody bought Women of Tomorrow Woman of Tomorrow.
And
to,
if they
to
followed
get up to date.
if they followed the graphic novel better, it would have been a better movie.
100%. But I'm very optimistic. Unlike
I'm looking forward to his Mr. Miracle.
Oh God,
Mr.
yeah,
Rad's Tom King book that's coming out on animated. Soon.
Wayne, do you mind? Woodsman, do you mind looking up? I don't know if they've announced a debut date for Mr. Miracle. I'm guessing they're going to, even though it's animated, I'm guessing they're going to try and space these things out a little bit. I don't know.
I was expecting December, but that's me.
Oh, that could be, and maybe they've announced it. I don't know. Again, this is only 8 episodes, right, for Lantern?
Yeah, I know. So
So 6
well,
more.
What else do you want to talk about? Reacher? Watching that?
Reacher.
You can talk about Reacher. I haven't. Hold on, real fast. A couple comments. Mario says the second episode of Lanterns was better than the first, but they still cut too much, and the crank was unnecessary. Yeah. I understand, but it's HBO, and HBO likes the male member, and I'm not talking about your social club when I say the male member. Big issue with live action adaptations is when they stray too far from the comics. Yeah, I agree with you, Red Puppy, but I would also say that, again, they got to translate it for the muggles that aren't steeped in continuity like we. And I expect nothing unless they declare, like a certain Strange New Worlds and Discovery and all the other BS that we're getting with New Trek. Oh no, this is all canon and this is all part of the thing. I look forward to whenever, and this is something I wanted to say earlier. And sorry to bring back Star Trek, but I can't help myself. Whenever the Kurtzman deal ends, I hope, as I understand it, one of the things that they haven't worked out yet is, does Kurtzman still own this group of characters, or is he going to get money to give up the rights to these characters? I hope he keeps them, and I hope the new regime never deals with this era again. And I'm not saying take it off of Paramount Plus. By all means, keep it up there, just like the Kelvin movies. And everybody that likes this stuff will have their 9 years of this BS and be very, very happy with the 100 or so episodes of New Trek that they got. And I hope they even bring back Prodigy, one of the better shows. But fine. And leave it there, and leave it in the hands of Kurtzman as well. By all means, never refer to it again, because all you've done is it said crap on Spock, crap on Scotty, crap on Kirk, and otherwise you've failed.
What do you mean? Only the new characters he introduced he owns, not the.
Oh no, yes, but I would say yes, absolutely. But I don't know how you can untangle some of this stuff from.
Oh, you can't.
Well, again, or you ignore it, or again, much like the Kelvin movies, it becomes its own era.
It's got
and you never refer to it again.
It's hard not to refer to it after 9 years of it. There's a lot of stuff.
I disagree, Mitch. I mean, honestly, it's been, and we'll get to you, Wayno. But 2009, that was 17 years ago, as far as the Kelvin movies, and they're quickly becoming a memory.
Oh my God, has it been
10 years since Beyond? Or yeah, was it? No, was it 16? It was 16. 2016 for Star Trek Beyond. All right, Wayno, what do you got?
Mr. Miracle expected in 2027. No.
Next year.
Wow.
Bummer. Rad Puppy says there's no way to reconcile Kurtzman Trek with anything previous. At least the Kelvin verse was, declared an alternate timeline. And again, they don't even have to declare it. I think de facto that the new filmmakers are going to go in a different direction, completely different. Yes, please. And my assumption, therefore, is whatever television follows will likely follow, if the movie is successful, hopefully, and that it's good, hopefully, that they'll follow that track, even if they do a different ship. And by the way, IDW continues to kill it in the comics. I just talked to Lansing and Kelly last week. That last Starship thing, it's 12 issues long. They started issue 10, and it's the last 3 things. It is such a great story. And now they have a new Red Shirts story that takes place during the original cast era, but it's a completely different ship and crew. And now Jerry Duggan, Cantwell did the first story. Jerry Duggan's doing the current story. It's great. Their Strange New World stuff is great. Cantwell is giving us legacy in the comics. So we're getting Captain Seven and that crew.
Oh, nice.
I talked to Heather Antos, the editor of all the IDW stuff at Fan Expo Chicago. And I shook her hand. I'm like, hey, way to go. I'm like, you're picking the right people, and they're telling great stories. And even Robbie Robertson, who did the not Robbie Robertson, that's the guy from the band. I forget Robbie's last name, who used to be the Supernatural writer that's currently doing the Strange New Worlds comic book and stuff. The comic's great. I mean, really. So they have good people. Rad says they've already established the Strange New Worlds as an alternate timeline with the pushing back of the date of the Botany Bay and Con. Yeah, Red Poppy. They will claim that, again, it's within canon. And then also other people have said that Enterprise, when the Borg went back, that changed the timeline as well. That's another. But these are fan theories.
Yeah.
All we have is these jerks beating their chest. Oh no, it's canon. Oh, it's
wait. No, remember the on Enterprise they found the Borg in the snow.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, they said they changed.
Yeah, when they're claiming that when in First Contact, when they went back to that time, that immediately changed the timeline as well. That's what they're claiming.
Get a headache.
It's a fan.
No, I know, but whenever time travel happens in stories like Endgame or Terminator, it's always like, dude,
Doomsday.
It's its own story.
Well, yeah, no kidding. I know. Boy, those fan theories. Good Lord, there was a guy put up like a half-hour Facebook, and I'm sure he's got it on other places as well. But a whole Victor Von Doom is really Tony Stark, and they go back to in Endgame when they time travel, when Tony and Steve go back to the army base,
right?
And that screwed things up, and that the only guy that could be the fall guy for stealing the Pym particles the Tesseract, the cosmic cube, the only fall guy left would be Howard Stark. So that started Howard Stark on the downward trajectory, and he had to move to Latveria to get away from everything else, and that's where he and his wife have Tony, but they name him Victor.
Yeah,
and totally different. We'll see. We'll find out in December, or we'll find out next year after Secret Wars. But
I gotta that's in the trailer that you actually have Reed going up to Doom, going, Victor, what have you done? Like really mad and upset.
I love when people go, oh, that ruined city, that world, that was Tobey Maguire's world, and he wiped. I go, dude, we all saw the same thing. Stop making up your crap just to get your clicks or whatever. I'm like,
actually,
did somebody call you? Did Kevin Feige call you?
I have to disagree with you there, Mr. Mitch, because if you happen to notice, when Doom landed in the center, he raised a whole bunch of Sentinels. So that would most likely be the Fox universe of X-Men, not the Tobey Maguire universe of the Spider-Man.
When he jumped out of that window that was shaped like a T, I told somebody, go, how did he jump into the Titans Tower if that's a DC property and not a Marvel property?
That could have been like the tower for the different type of people. So
actually,
I still think that's the X-Men universe because of the whole.
Actually, I don't understand one thing. How could that Jean Grey be there in the new Spider-Man movie, but the other Jean Grey that was in those X-Men First Class movies is not the same one that grows up to be Famke Janssen?
Well, that's quite easily explained because you have different type of mystiques. You have your.
That's right. You have your
Rebecca Romaine
Lawrence and your Rebecca Romaine.
And Jennifer Lawrence.
Mystique. Well, now that I know that Rebecca Romaine was that
type of mystiques there, so I don't think
Rebecca Romaine was at Terrificon and she gave me a kiss, so that will always be my blue skin.
Well, I don't know if that was a legitimate kiss.
Jerry O'Connell Jerry kissed me as well. Maybe that wasn't really Jerry. That was really Quinn Mallory from Sliders.
Could have been Mr. Quinn Mallory from the Sliders. He could have been sliding into our.
Could have been his brother. Remember when his brother Colin was on the show and he was
real fast. Hold on. I don't mean to interrupt your fanboy party there.
Nerd
but hold
slap
on.
fight. Exactly. Come on, Wayne.
Get the dinosaur hands up,
nerds! Have you seen the AI Star Trek video where Voyager arrives in San Francisco? Well, there was that two-parter where Voyager.
Yes.
Well, maybe it wasn't San Francisco. Maybe it was L.A.
Then there was that shitty card where they went to L.A. and they got the ice people that were INS.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was so
but speaking
Crystal
of Sliders, and listen, I'm very excited because Stuart Destroys the Universe, or almost Destroys
Yes,
the Universe.
that is
whatever.
like Sliders.
It absolutely is. What a great show! My God, it is so fun. And even the 17-minute episode they had with what's her face with the mousy voice?
The one that was on
Girlfriend.
Night Court. Yeah,
Howard's Wallace's girlfriend. As
Roush.
Melissa Roush. Thank you. Melissa Roush. Very good. But yeah, I mean, no, and this week's was great. Last Fridays or Thursdays.
I didn't see that.
The natives. Oh man, all right, I'll leave it at that, Mitch.
No. I've been trying to watch it. I watch it after Lanterns. I go, oh yeah, let me catch up with that one. That's a good.
Well, and it's quick. It's mostly like 19 minutes. So I mean, you're done with it pretty fast.
And
but
you
it's
have
great.
to watch the credits.
Absolutely,
the song,
the opening credits.
Yeah. You know what's sad though? I hate how the nerds are like, it already got canceled. There will be no season 2 of Stewart. I'm like, okay, so it doesn't take away from my. That's I don't know. The same people that knew that was Tobey Maguire's universe got the memo from Warner Brothers that they canceled Stewart Saved the Universe or whatever season 2. I don't know who calls these people. You know,
I don't know, but it's sensible.
You know what I love the guy with the little dog. He lives here in Connecticut now. Screen Crush, Brian Airy. But when I go to watch,
the YouTuber, yes, go on.
and Doug, the little dog. But I'll go to watch Lanterns, and I quickly turn off the show, and I go to look on YouTube, and he's already got 112 things you missed from episode 2. I go, oh come on, bro,
well,
Jesus, it's not been 5 seconds yet.
But some of these people get
a screener copy. Okay, because I'm like, Jesus God, and then sometimes
it's been a while.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say sometimes when they come up with their fan theories, it's a stretch. It's like, actually, it's a book of Revelations, and they go on. I go, what are you?
It all relates back to the Darkhold. It's the Darkhold that had put a spell.
All right, save it for your D&D.
Take it easy, buddy. Settle down.
No, I was gonna say, occasionally I will get access to screeners. Jeff Johns was very kind to me about Stargirl and gave me an advanced look at a lot of stuff, and Universal is very kind to me about that, and Apple is very kind to me about that for certain shows. But it depends.
Some of them, though, man, they just the other guy's name is Voss. I think Eric Voss. He does another Screen something, not Screen Crush, but Screen. I don't know, whatever.
Sure.
And he goes on about it. He's very excited. I mean, Jesus Christ, whatever Coke this mother's on, they got to sell it in the stores because he's like, we just watched the latest episode of Lanterns, and what you just saw is something I can't believe in. We're going to talk about all the things right now. I'm like, slow it down. And then I'll go to look, 200 billion views. I go, Jesus Christ. We're over here doing quality stuff, swearing. We got a guy from Canada. We got Franco once in a while. And we're lucky if we get a couple thousand. These sons of bitches, they got millions.
No, Mitch, honestly, it's a marathon. And thank you, all of you who have been watching and continue to watch, because the numbers go up every week.
I'm always amazed, brother. I just go, what are they doing?
A bunch of people at Terrificon, Mohegan Sun's great convention that happens in August next year. You should really join us. But no, honestly, like they're and at Fan Expo. A lot of people. I don't mean to sound like our great leader, but it's true. I'm hearing it from a lot of people. A lot of people are saying they like Trek Watch, and that's great. Because honestly, I was taking. There was a guy actually I turned around who was like, "You always hate everything about New That's Star Trek," and I'm like, I call him like I see him. And I don't make any apologies.
I mean, I tell you, I don't get up to go, let's go watch a shitty show. I mean, I get up going, just like I get the comics every Wednesday. There's that little part of me that hopes against all hope that I'm slapping my $5 to $6 down on a piece of paper with 20 pages that I'm going to read in 10 minutes and go, maybe this will be the spark that brings back the fond memories. And occasionally you'll get a good DC story. And like I said, I can't believe I buy more DCs than Marvel now. And I'm waiting for my comeback. I'm waiting for Rocky to come back. And go, this is your Spider-Man, bitch. This is your Cap. You know, this is the ones I want to see, you know. But
you got to start reading.
I have faith in Wacker.
I watch Trek and I sit there every week and go, if they did it the first season, they could do it again. Why can't they do it again?
You got to start reading Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees.
Oh, absolutely.
What is that?
It is an amazing story about a serial killer.
Oh, that's really Disney.
But they're all animals.
What?
It's really it's a really good
I'll
story.
tell you what, Mike. I think it was Mike Norton. I God knows I messed my poor kid up. There was an image book years ago about a bunch of dogs and cats. I think it was dogs, and they were like a team. They were a team. They worked together, and there was this kid that was torturing animals or something at the end. We're reading this comic.
Are you talking about Tony Fleece?
Yeah, my kid was so good into it because he loved animals. He still does. And we're reading it together, and he's getting into comics. And then you turn the page, and there's this like kid. I think he was like drowning puppies or something, and it was horrific. And man, oh man, that my kid never touched the book after that. I was like, sorry, you lost a comic fan, but I can't. It was a long time ago. It was like 2010. It was.
Oh no, it's not that. All right, then it might be a different series because Stray Dogs is about a group of dogs that were being housed by a serial killer, and they realized.
Oh God, no! I don't think I was.
Is this Jill Thompson's book, Beast of Burden?
Beast of Burden. That was the book.
Oh, that's Dorkin and Jill Thompson.
Yeah, that's the one I used to read to Owen, and it was just like nightmares.
Sure.
So.
No, I heard about an upcoming Jill book,
Beast
and
of
I'll
Burden.
leave it at that.
Oh yeah, I did too. It's probably
serial
I'm not
killers.
going to say anything.
No. It is a classy book. It is a very. If you like Dexter,
I didn't like Dexter.
Then Mitch,
I don't. I mean, I watched Silence of the Lambs, but I hated Hannibal.
If you didn't like Dexter, do not read Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, because you're not going to like the book.
That's Tynan, Beneath the Trees, right? Or is it Scott?
No, it's Paul Horwath.
Oh,
it's exactly what Carrie said.
Oh, and that's Carrie was saying
Horvath. Yeah,
there you go.
He's an amazing. It's an amazing series.
Okay, all right.
No, Wayne, I'm going to tell you why I don't read those stuff, because now that we're on the social media and people see us, I'm afraid there's a serial killer out there watching us, and I don't want to be on his dinner plate tomorrow. True story.
Cancer. Who do I care?
Jesus Christ, Wayne, put it on Front Street.
Downer.
And look at Wayne. I mean, look at Johnny. Johnny's hoping somebody comes and murders him. I mean,
yeah, a little bit.
That'd be great ratings.
Yeah.
You know what is sad? I was going through my autograph. I have like a folder of autographs. I was putting the new ones in from Terrificon, and you know what I saw in there? Hayden Panettiere. How sad was that?
Yeah.
I had an autograph from her from like 2010 or something, 2011.
Either the New York Times or Vanity Fair had a really sad article, because I guess after she divorced Vladimir Klitschko, she hooked up with this old boyfriend, or something, where the guy was back in her life. And in her autobiography, she talks about how this old boyfriend was really abusive to her. And I think at the end there was a restraining order against this guy. But yeah, it's what a tragedy. Oh, also there was a Trek death this week. Leslie Parrish, she was the beautiful crewman that falls in love with Apollo in the original series.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I mean, she's like, she was in her 90s. She was born in 35. So yeah, she's 90 or 91 when she passed. But man, she's also in the Manchurian Candidate. Lovely woman. I mean, just a strikingly beautiful woman.
Yeah.
What was Takei? Was George Takei at Trek
Yes,
Vegas?
he was.
Okay,
he
how's
was
he
in
doing?
Vegas.
All right?
He was how do I put it?
I don't know. I haven't seen him as much.
No. It's just that he was. We asked him a
night.
couple of questions.
Yeah.
And it was like he had this one thing on his mind, and that he had to get it out. And that no matter what question we asked, he always diverted back to like the DEI issue and with the Ellisons and everything. Taking over Paramount. And it was just it was kind of sad because, and he actually apologized, saying, "I'm really sorry that I've sort of ranted and went on this," but we tried to steer him into different questions, and he always slid back to there.
Oh no, I was just wondering how he was, because I haven't seen him around a lot. He used to be.
I don't think he didn't look that great to me.
Oh, okay.
No, and he's in a he's and I understand a lot of walking, and especially being in your 90s. But I know, he was at least in a. Well, Wayne, you were there. Was he in a rascal? Yeah. Was he in a chair?
Yeah, he was in a rascal. No, wheelchair.
I saw James Cromwell was in one of those. There was a picture of him.
James was in one too.
He was Stretch Cunningham back in the 70s, buddy.
Absolutely.
50 years ago.
Absolutely. Shelley Fabre also passed away, who, of course.
This is Mike Farrell,
Yeah, there you go. Attaboy, Mitch. Yes, Mike Farrell's wife, unfortunately. And
Second
of course,
wife.
from the Donna Reed show. And the singer of Johnny Angel. Johnny Angel.
Oh, she's Johnny Angel.
I love him.
I did not.
Yeah,
know
she
that.
sang that. Oh, yeah, she was the singer. And she made that really cool, not cool, but she and Barbara Eden made a surf movie called Ride the Wild Surf. Janet Dean did the theme song. And ironically, they dyed Barbara Eden's hair brown and they dyed Shelley Fabre's brown hair blonde for the movie.
Barbara Eden turned 95 yesterday.
Wow. All 4'11" of her. My God. You put her,
I met
put her
I
in
met
heels,
her once.
and she's just at 5 feet. I met her as well. Very tiny lady.
Yeah.
Very sweet lady, but a very tiny lady. So that's so funny and sad at the same time. But again, these guys, they're all getting up there.
And actor, is it Michael Wright? Died 60 years old.
Who's Michael
You
Wright?
know him if you saw him. A black actor from what show was he on? It was a hospital show. He's been on forever. He's been on like 40 years worth
Grey's
of TV.
Anatomy?
Dies at 70.
Oh, he was 70. I thought he was 60, but still. What was the hospital show, Wayne? Was
I'm
it
looking
ER?
at it.
Oh.
He was in V the series. He was Omar White in
Yes,
Oz.
he was on V. Yes.
Lazarus Prime in Black Lightning.
Oh, he's in Black Lightning.
Yep.
I love that show.
Battle.
Black Lightning was good.
Yeah, that should have been on streaming because
It
it would have
should
had
have
a better
been.
life.
You know what? It was good, and then his daughter was there, and then it started getting off the rails.
Yeah,
and
I
it was
would have.
like-
I agree, man. I would have preferred to watch William
Yeah.
Kress, who played Black Lightning, and have like
Yes.
a Dark Knight Black Lightning, like Batman in his 50s. Have William
Yeah.
Kress as Black Lightning. It's just
Yeah.
I would have preferred that as well.
Now we had dinner with me and Ordway had dinner with them one night in New York, and he was a very great guy. And I was hoping that show was going to be on a long time, but they CW'd it. They just made it like generic, like
just
Tiger
like all
Beat.
the CW shows.
Yeah, it was
Well, you
like
know,
they made it for kids.
well,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but that's the thing, man. CW, kind of like the early days of Fox, they were going for the young audience. That's why the Arrowverse thrived
Yeah.
on the CW.
Yeah,
Again, because
Supernatural.
I mean,
Smallville.
they did even that Tom Swift thing they tried for half a season. I mean, that's just what they were doing.
Didn't they do
unfortunately.
that vampire thing? iVampire?
Which
Didn't that
one?
last? No, it was called iVampire. I think it was a Scott.
iZombie.
iZombie.
iZombie. that's
They
it.
did that for a couple of seasons.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
That's what I
actually
was
that-
like, wow, that lasted.
4 or 5. Well, the great Chris.
Or at least
Robertson.
4.
Yeah, Mike Allred and Chris Robertson. Fantastic series. Absolutely.
Yeah. See, sometimes
No,
they didn't dumb it down.
But they did have 2 vampire series.
They had
Um,
two?
Yeah,
Remember
I
that
think
Gotham Knights thing? I never watched one episode. It was-
jeez.
yeah,
Yeah, I
it's,
watched
five
it's a
episodes.
shame. It's a shame because, again, it's just like when they did Birds of Prey 25 years
Yes,
ago.
I remember
And
Birds
when
of
you
Prey.
start with Batman's dead, and therefore, and it's like no, and also that all of a sudden Batman had a fourth adopted son. Well, Damien's his real son, but it was a new kid that he adopted, and it had some interesting quirks to it because like the Joker's daughter, I believe, was in it, or Dula Dent, and I
Dula
forget
Dent.
the other.
This Gotham Knights?
This is the Gotham Knights show.
Oh,
yeah.
I never. Okay, I'm like, really?
I think it's still on HBO Max.
1 minute.
By the way,
I never saw it.
if you've never watched Pennyworth, and
Yes, that was
enjoy a
that was
good-
fun.
I was going to say, if you enjoy a good 60s British spy thing, it's
Yes.
a great homage. Now, that's how you do an homage, Wayne.
Yeah, no, that was like
Just
the
saying,
Prisoner
Wayne.
meets the Avengers. It was like
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit of everything, and they
Well,
had
even
like
their-
Professor Pig in it too. They had some modern.
Yes,
uh,
Professor Pig,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and also
They
all
had,
the
Mr.
episodes were named
Freeze.
they were named after old ITV characters. Like one was Lady Penelope was an episode of Pennyworth, even though it had nothing to do with Thunderbirds. But that was the Thunderbird.
Oh, somebody just said Mia Sarah was Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey. Yes, she was. She
Yes,
was
she
the
was.
psychiatrist. She was Harley Quinzel, and then she turned into Harley Quinn at the very end.
Chemdog says he found Birds of Prey on DVD in the Best
There you
Buy
go.
$5 bin. Yeah, and again, there were great things about that season or however
Alfred
long
Go
Birds of Prey
was
was.
in it. Yeah,
But yeah, I unfortunately no.
Michael
At the end.
Go.
Dina Meyer. Dina Meyer was great as background.
Dina Meyer, and the girl Rachel Tyler was the
Was she
Huntress.
Huntress?
Yeah, she was cool. And
Mhm.
then Michael Gough from the Batman movies was in it, wasn't he?
Yeah.
As Alfred?
Yeah, he was Alfred.
Yeah. So I like that show. Didn't last more than
Unbelievable.
like what 10 episodes?
Oh, Wayne, I know Mitch hasn't had the opportunity to see it.
What's that?
I don't know if you've watched, and I don't know if you in Canada, if you ever got The War Between the Land and the Sea, the Doctor Who unit spinoff.
Has it actually premiered?
It has not. I got it on by devious methods. I won't deny.
Oh.
I'll leave it at devious.
Three-letter,
Shut up!
BBN.
Shut up! Shut up!
Wait
But
a
anyway,
second. What is that going to be on? Disney?
Well, Disney has it, and we have no. It may stay on the shelf, and you might have to buy physical media to get it.
Oh, for God's sakes!
But I got to tell you, I am on the final episode. I haven't finished it, but I'm liking it a lot more than a lot of other people did. And there's even just one moment that, and this is not a spoiler in any way, but you know, they call them the Aqua.
Sea Devils?
No, not Aquafinas. Well, now, Mitch, and you'll roll your eyes at this. That's a pejorative. That's racism, calling them the Sea Devils. And they even say it a couple of times on the show. And it's like, don't call them that. It's like they're fictional
Who
people.
are you offending?
Talk to Russell Davies. This is his
Are you
mind.
shitting me?
I swear to God, Mitch. I swear to God, it's so stupid. But they call them like Aqua, and truly like Aqua Homo.
Aqua demons
like
or something?
No, not demons. Like Homo sapiens, but undersea aqua creatures. Whatever. But there's a scene where to negotiate, they go underwater, and it's a unit of like 5 people. It reminded me so much of Fantastic Voyage, even though that's shrinking people. But it really was this like great kind of classic sci-fi moment. Go ahead, Wayno.
Homo Aqua.
There you go, Homo Aqua. And it ain't a gay thing over by there. That means that they enjoy having sex with each other over by there. Although there's an interesting moment where the woman Salt, the Homo Aqua, gets angry, and all of a sudden she transgenders and becomes very male, which was very interesting. Unless it happens more in the final episode, whatever. But really, the guy that plays the main human, that's like kind of the innocent bystander that's sucked into the whole thing because he feels bad for their race. So, and they are empathic, and they recognize that he's a decent human and not giving them a line of BS like all the politicians they're dealing with. They make him the Earth ambassador, and he's really good. And he's been in previous Doctor Who shows. Very good actor, Russell something.
So,
but it's really good. I hope finally North America gets to see it because I think it's great.
Are Time Lords Time Lords not called Time Lords anymore? Are they called like temporal?
That's racist
temporal deities because we don't want to insult any of the lords of time out there.
I didn't know that. Salt was the same actress as Martha Jones's sister.
I did not know that Mr. Centris has a domicile in Jersey.
You live in Jersey? John?
Yeah, Jersey. Actually, it's in Fredonia. I have a VPN that allows me to watch programs because
it's on Prime Video in Jersey.
We're at Jersey. What? Jersey, the country of Jersey.
Oh! Not the state.
And if you have a Sky subscription, you can watch it in Ireland.
Yeah, but
in the UK, you can watch it
land of the Irons
iPlayer or Sky.
Oh no, it's I mean, again, it ran on the BBC and
it's there,
one of my favorite Trek Central or Trek culture people. Ellie Littlechild is her name. Could she have a more British name? Ellie Littlechild. She's their big Doctor Who expert, and I watched all of her reviews, and she was kind of like, and she drinks the Kool-Aid. She loves, although much like a lot of Trek people, now that the Shurigatwa era is over, she's hypercritical about those 2 seasons, and it's like, no crap, lady. I don't know where you were when it was happening every week, but I was dissatisfied during the entire run. Go ahead.
A little warning, Mr. Centris. It is leaving in 8 days from Prime.
Oh, I'm not watching it on Prime, so it's all right.
Okay, then you're good.
I'll leave it at that.
But you
here we go. Chem Dog says, I'm looking forward to the new War Master audio. Oh, yeah, from Big Finish. they're doing, and that War Master, that's Derek Jacobi.
Yes.
It's
really?
It's not
From
playing him on
iClaudius?
the audio. It's his version of the Master that he did on the TV show,
Really?
which is cool. Yeah, I'm excited for that. No, and I love, man, ever since iClaudius,
Yeah.
everything that Derek Jacobi is, and also he and McKellen have a very, very funny sitcom from Britain called Vicious, and they're an old gay couple, and it's very, very funny. And it's, I mean, and they are balls to the wall, no pun intended, gay, and it's fantastic. And I mean, McKellen, my God, the guy, you know what was awesome? My buddy, when he got married, is a big celebrity freak, and he sent a bunch of letters to various celebrities to send back well wishes to the couple. And McKellen wrote this lovely little poem, handwritten, just so nice. And it's like, you know, that's Ian McKellen, man. That's how cool. And I remember Emma Thompson, he told me, the Brits are lovely that way. And both of them really like went that extra, like he would have been happy with just best wishes and an autograph. But McKellen and Emma Thompson just went out of their way to be cool. But yeah, so again, and Jacobi, when he's on Frasier, and he was like a data, he was an android they go to a science fiction convention because when Frasier and Niles were kids, he spoke to their class about the importance of the theater, and they were so moved. But his big claim to fame was he was a robot on a bad science fiction show, and they sponsor him to do a one-man Shakespearean show, and he's horrible. It's a fantastic Frasier episode. And anytime Jacobi's doing something new, he's got my full attention. So, let's see. ChemDog says Vicious. Vicious also had Maximus the Mad in it. Very cool. And yeah, Sir Derek Jacobi, indeed. Yes, he's on Good Omens. Absolutely. Very cool. Yep. So, yeah, what else? What Wayno, I know you've been watching a hell of a lot more than me.
Oh, fuck. I'm up to date on the Ark, Silo,
Catch up.
President Curtis.
Yep.
What are the other ones?
Did I say I finished my Adventures with Superman? I was very impressed.
My Adventures with Superman, which is
very
really good.
It really great season. I hope they do more.
Yeah,
because they left things at an interesting place.
Mm-hmm. I really like President Curtis. It's really cool seeing a different take with Keith David as President Curtis and getting a look at the White House, a funny White House that you can sort of laugh at and not worry about.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah.
Geez,
what else?
What is that on? What President Kurt? What is that?
It's on Adult Swim.
Oh, it's on HBO Max. You can find it on HBO
Oh, it's
Max.
on HBO Max. Stewart, I'm up to date on Stewart. It's basically Sliders.
Yet. I know that's been finished for a while.
Rick and Morty was really good this season.
I heard on you need it. I think it's old enough now that you can't immediately access it. But if you have a New York Times subscription, you can access their interview podcast. And I listened from May, right before Spider Noir debuted. Mm-hmm. Fantastic hour with Nicolas Cage. And he really went through why he played him the way that he did. And he was very, very passionate about the project and how much he loved doing it. I don't think, unfortunately, that he wants to do more than the one season that they did, which is a shame because I'd love to see them continue. But it's a great, if you have a New York Times subscription, you can go back in the catalog. And I mean, on your whether you have an Android phone or an iPhone, mm-hmm. But you need, I know I had to, it asked me for my subscription, and I do subscribe to the New York Times, the paper of record. So I was able to listen to it, but it was great. I listened to it this weekend. It's fantastic. ChemDog says, I'm currently watching the Blu-ray of Tom Baker's first season, a great season. I love that transition from Pertwee through Baker's first season because there were still a lot of unit moments. And, you know, I love the unit people. And that's why I was excited to see War Between the Land and Sea, because even the way New Who has handled unit, I like Kate Lethbridge Stewart. I like the Brigadier's daughter, and I love the Brigadier, and I love Sergeant Benton and Captain Yates, Joe Grant. You know
what was Ian's name? Was that his name?
Yeah.
The guy who died
Harry
young.
Smith. Harry Smith. Yeah, Ian Martin.
Ian Martin,
yeah. Who also wrote a couple of the Who paperback adaptations.
Yes, he did.
Because
Yeah.
I saw him at a good Lord. Now that I think about it, 43 years ago, I saw him at
Yeah.
a Doctor Who convention in the early 80s.
I used to
and
get
he was
those.
great.
They were put out by Pinnacle Books. They were white little paperbacks, and I used to get them at a store called Book World in New Haven because they had imports. That's where I got my. I still have them. My original Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a restaurant at the end of the universe, and that was it for two. And then you had to wait
Yeah.
for the third one. So long and thanks for all the fish. All those Douglas Adams stories.
Well, forever, because they wouldn't show them on the public television stations in North America. Never saw any Hartnells, never saw any Troughtons, but we had the paperbacks. So
Yeah,
I read.
no, that's
I
true.
read
That's
the first
how I
and
read
second
about
Doctor's
it. Yeah, I
Adventures
read
that way.
the Sea Devils and all that. I was like, what is all this?
War games.
Up in Canada, we saw them.
Did you?
Well, sure.
No,
They
that's
took
why when
three
they
of
had
They felt
we
sorry
had
for you.
the Three Doctor, was it the Three Doctors?
Yeah,
It was like a
Berwick.
very special, like, when they did the fundraisers, you get the tote bag, and it was
Yep.
like on a Saturday night, and I think maybe it was the 4 or 5 Doctors. I don't remember. Yeah, it was the
Well, there were
5
two
Doctors.
different
with
ones. Yeah,
Peter Davidson, and then you had Tom Baker.
the
They had outtakes with him on a
right. From
gondola.
Shada. Yeah,
Yeah.
the footage from Shada.
And I remember
yeah.
going, who the hell are these other guys? And then just towards the end, in the late 80s, they started putting on the Pertwee ones, which were great. And the Trouton, they didn't have that many of them. And I think the Hartnells, they had like one or
But
two.
they found more. They found
Yeah.
more, and then also they found chapters of some,
Yeah, they
and
animated.
they integrated animation.
Yeah.
because they still have the voice tracks, so they're able to. I mean, and by the way, like there is a classic Doctor Who YouTube channel, and you can watch a lot of that stuff for
Yes.
free.
Yes.
So that's cool. And then also, I believe Tubi still has a lot of the seasons.
You know what has it too?
Classic,
My Amazon has it for some odd reason, but they're just streaming. You can't like lock on a certain episode. You just click. It's like BritBox was. You just watch it, and it's like okay, and then they just go into the next one. It's just like 24 hours of nonstop Doctor Who.
I have not seen the Voyager.
I have not watched
Oh,
it,
he has
but
them.
he is.
Hold on for the audio audience. When I'm
Oh yeah, for
anyone seen the Star Trek Voyager crowdfunded documentary? I just got the Blu-ray in the mail after 5 years, and yes, right now for the audio audience, Wayne is holding it up. Continue, Wayne.
oh yeah, here it is. Done.
All right, that was. Thanks for interrupting. That was great.
Why is there two of
I
them?
understand. And yes, Chemdog confirms that. Yeah, Tubi does have the classic stuff. No, it's fun, man.
There's
really
two
great.
of them because they realized they didn't have enough of Kate Mulgrew as part of the interview, because a lot of this stuff also was being filmed during COVID. So when they got to the final part of it, they realized they didn't have a lot with Kate. So there's also a bonus disc with a bunch of interviewing with Kate and
Oh,
the
nice.
rest of
That's
the
great.
cast.
Mrs. Columbo.
Yep.
You know, there's a, and this is just on the internet, and anyone can get it. There's a weird bootleg streamer called Watch Live, and they have a bunch of different channels, and they have a detective channel, and they show Mrs. Columbo episodes.
Jesus,
crazy.
really?
It's crazy. Kate loves a mystery.
They changed it to that.
What's that?
They changed the name of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, because everyone was mad, including Peter Falk, where it's like, take my name off this damn show.
Well, I never understood how come she was so much younger than him. I'm like, wait.
Well, that's why everyone's like, no, nice try. There's no way in hell. And that's why I think they retooled it. And honestly, it's Kate Mulgrew being Kate Mulgrew. She's great in it. I mean, if they would have just started with Kate Loves a Mystery, because not only that, she's a newspaper reporter for like the free newspaper you got at the grocery store, the Shopper Saver or whatever. I mean, it's like, okay, whatever. But they're okay. There was, the ventriloquist that was on Soap. You remember that guy?
Jay Johnson.
Jay Johnson, yeah. He's the killer in one episode.
Wow.
And he kills his mentor who carves puppets, and with one of the knives that he carves puppets.
Kate was in Remo Williams. That's right. Chemdog's right. She was the
Oh my
love
God, and fantastic in Remo Williams. Hey, she's
And
great in that
Remo
two-parter.
Williams is out in 4K.
I love Remo Williams. That's a great movie. But also, she was in that two-parter of Cheers, where Sam was dating her when she was the congresswoman. And from On a
that's right.
Train,
That's right.
she's Billy Crystal's wife, and she's great. And that's what I'm saying, man. You don't need at the expense of male characters the way they do it on New Trek now.
Discovery.
Like I said, Voyager had strong women. Deep Space Nine had strong women, never at the expense of the men. Oh, and Wayne said something on in our chat on Facebook about One Little Ship, the DS9 episode, where they're teeny tiny and they're inside the ship and doing stuff inside the gadgetry and stuff. Again, they had a sci-fi reason for that. It worked for. I'm sorry, that worked better for me than the Muppets.
Did I say that?
I thought you said it. Somebody
You
said
know
it.
what?
I thought you did. I thought you did. Maybe not.
Rad Puppy 71 says we were robbed that we never got another Remo Williams.
That's
You're
true.
right. And I'm telling you, if he wasn't the Punisher, John Barenthal would have been a great, because I always think Fred Ward and him should have done a movie together because he could have played his father. The two of them, whenever I see Barenthal, I go, Jesus Christ, too bad Fred Ward's passed away because they're almost the same guy.
And also, it's a shame that both in the movie and that TV pilot
show,
that in both cases, sadly, an Asian did not play Chun.
Yeah, I know. But
And
that was the 80s. They
it-
didn't care back then. They were like, we don't care. We don't care.
Joel Grey in the movie and Roddy McDowell in the aborted TV pilot.
Correct.
That is actually fun to watch.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do?
Guilty
Well,
pleasure.
again, this really says it all in terms of the status of New Trek, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
Getting down with a puppet. Do you think he
Oh
put
my
it in
God,
there?
you are such. You
I think
guys
he
are
put it
such
in there.
Feltus. You're
I think
Feltus. That's
he put
it.
it
I
in there.
got it. I don't know.
We're Feltus. We're against.
You're Feltus. You're against
oh,
Felt.
I'm against Felt. Yes, I'm against.
So yeah,
I will
yeah,
remake. I will remake the Destroyer series right now.
Yeah, man. Oh no, they're great.
I got
They're fun.
time. I got
They're
time.
fun.
If
Very
not,
Taylor
I
get
don't
Sheridan,
know.
your
just
series.
like being very old.
Get Mac Bolan.
If I no seriously, if I won the lotto, I would start a movie company. I've always said that. If I had money, I would do a movie company. I would get young people and tell them what to make. You're gonna make a movie that old people are gonna like, and they're gonna like it.
Well, try and make a move for everybody. Why would you cut yourself off? Sorry, doesn't make
Oh,
any
you
sense.
like
to me.
New Trek?
Yeah, well, yeah. Unlike New Trek. All right, so we'll be back next Monday. We'll again. It looks like we're actually gonna get a real Star Trek episode this week.
Maybe.
We'll see. But again,
it's
if you're
off
enjoying
hours.
this,
What?
if you're enjoying
The
this,
title is called Off Hours.
yes, I know. But if you see, there's photos out there. I suspect it might be more Trekish than what we've been getting. But Wednesday, I'm going to do it live here, 1:00 Eastern time. Myself and from the Tachyon Pulse podcast, Jamie, the Brit that is fantastic and supposedly has an insider. So we'll see what kind of information he's willing to share with us that he has already put on his show. Yes, Mitch?
How does your friends Larry Young and Rob Burnett like the puppet episode?
They hated it.
Okay,
They hated
just
it.
checking.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
checking.
Oh yeah, they couldn't stand it. No, I mean, really, well, to the point where I was teasing that we were going to talk tonight, and Burnett's like, "Why?
Why?
I'm like to mock it. I mean, give me a break." Well,
We did. You did give a lot of airtime to a shitty episode, so you're like,
yeah. Well, again, we're calling them like we see them, man.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, again, the reason why we're doing this on Mondays is that we can also talk about lanterns, at least something.
That's
weekly
true.
that we
The
like.
good with the bad. Yes, you'll take the good
Indeed,
with the
so we can balance things out.
And
I
that's
look forward to lanterns, man. I'm actually. My wife goes, "Isn't tonight your Green Lantern thing?" I go, "Yes, it is." She goes, "Really?" I'm like, "I'm actually excited to watch shows that aren't streamed all at once. That you have to like what a destination TV.
Yeah,
is that
appointment
what
television.
must see
Appointment
TV.
television.
It's like appointment
Watercolored.
television. Exactly. You work all
It's like-
day and you go, I can't wait to 9:00 here on the East Coast to watch Lanterns.
It blows my mind that hey, you know what would make sense instead of putting it all out at once?
Once a week.
Build interest week to week.
Yeah.
Maybe that would work.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Have
Since
people talking
1945?
about it. Yeah, it worked. Well, if they had water coolers, they don't go to work anymore. But still,
Exactly. Well, you
Exactly.
can talk around your refrigerator's water dispenser now instead of the water
and we can
cooler.
tease for next week. I will have my pictures from Star Trek of me acting a fool with a whole bunch
I
of
can't wait to see what you
Did
wore.
you scare
with
Kate
the-
Mulgrew with your phaser toy?
No,
again?
not this time. I avoided her like the plague. I did
You
not want to be
should.
recognized.
Oh, you're that jerk that scared me last year. I don't like you.
Yeah, scared. Yeah.
My
But
my
I
buddy
did have
wanted me to
people
buy
saying goodbye
a
to me,
chat.
so.
I'm
What?
sorry when I stepped on you. Go ahead. What'd
No,
you say?
that's fine. I just said I did have some people sad that I'm not coming back next year. So that was nice.
Well, sure. Of course they are, man.
Well, Wayne, it's not on the same weekend as Terrificon next year, so you could.
It doesn't matter. I've decided I did not renew my ticket. I'm
Why not, Wayne?
focusing all my energy on Terrificon next year,
All right.
August 13th to the 15th.
That's right.
Weekend Sun.
I better
Well,
do
Join
it
us,
the
Joe.
show. No
best
pressure.
comic convention in Connecticut. I
What?
recommend it.
Best comic connection in the Northeast, bitch. Connecticut. Look at that, right? Yes, it
Oh,
is.
is that a Snoopy?
No,
No,
it's
that's crypto.
crypto. It's better
it's
than
crypto.
the movie.
Of course, it's crypto.
Look
The
at
year
that.
threw me. All right, the year threw me. Sorry.
Crypto.
They're making a crypto animated series as well. Apparently,
They should. Oh, we didn't mention the Jimmy Olsen show's coming out.
Yes, I'm
and they
excited
have
for
a
the Jimmy
title.
Olsen
It's something to do with Gorilla Grodd. If
Yes.
that's what I've seen that. Yeah,
That is correct. No, all that is correct. Here, Carrie's doing your job for you, Mitch. Tickets go on
Yes,
sale for
Carrie,
next year.
tickets go on sale November 15th. Yes, I redid the
There you go.
website last week. Yes, I redid all that. Shit. Yay! Yay! We're gonna talk about Star Trek next week. Yay!
All right, we'll talk to you next week, everybody. Thanks for watching.